Punching Up, a Nintendo podcast, is brought to you by you. If you want to learn how to support our show, go to patreon.com/laststandmedia. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 46 of Punching Up, Last Stand Media's weekly Nintendo podcast. I am your host, Brad Ellis, as always, and joining me, I have my two lovely co-hosts. First, we're going to start with Gene. Gene, how are you, my friend?
Good morning, afternoon, whatever this is going to go live. Good evening. Happy Thursday. Happy Switch 2 announcement. No more leaks. So I have more to address on that, but... thanks everyone for waiting for the delay. I was a little worried that we rescheduled for no reason, but shout out to Nate the Hate. He was able to nail it down. So yes. I have a lot to say about leakers too, and actually apparently Hideki Kamiya has a lot to say about leakers too. He just tweeted a whole thread about it.
Oh man! Oh geez, we'll get to that. But also, sure. Micah Moriarty, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well. Yeah, just really happy that we actually did get the announcement. I was getting nervous because I'm seeing last night, Eastern time, and I'm seeing accounts tweeting okay, what time is it in Japan? Maybe they'll announce it at 10:30 Japan time, right? And it's they just kept bumping it out basically, and I was like, are we what is happening? But yes, it is here. We can finally talk about it.
Yes, it is finally here. Very exciting day. Finally, we can put the speculation to rest in many regards, so I'm very happy about that. I got the name Switch 2 officially. We're going to get into all that. But before we do, please check us out on patreon.com/laststandmedia if you enjoy our stuff. You want to support us, we greatly appreciate it. Also, if you want some merch, we got laststandmedia.store. We got a bunch of merch over there. Stickers, we have a Punching Up sticker over there, a little Mario fist, if you're interested, and all that good stuff. Also, leave us a nice rating if you enjoy the show on any of your podcast service of choice. Thumbs up, all that good stuff. Yada, yada, yada. Thank you. We appreciate it. Okay. It's here. Switch 2 finally announced. It is called Switch 2, actually. I want to start with the name. Gene, what do you think about the name being officially Switch 2?
I have a lot of thoughts. I'm not the biggest fan of the name, just because I don't like the iPhone to PS2 naming. Well, I actually like the PlayStation, the naming convention, and PlayStation did it first before iPhone did. So let's not forget that, right? So PlayStation is an innovator of putting numbers in upgraded products. So I never really minded on PS2, but I just think it just seems a little tacky, The Super Nintendo Switch definitely sounds better. All that being said, though, my preferences aside, if I was in the boardroom of Nintendo and we started debating on the name, I would relent and say, I think the Switch 2 is probably the best name for it, though, because we are in an era of modest upgrades, right? Mm-hmm. Calling things the Pro or the Xbox Series, blah blah blah, or the Xbox One X. And then, of course, there is the deep trauma that the Wii U caused, and put Nintendo in red for hell's sake, for heck's sake. I'm trying not to curse in the beginning, This is the Switch 2 episode, right? So we might have a bigger audience. We might be we might have a lot more people tuning in. For heck's sake. They're getting over to Wii U. Ultimately, I'll be I think Super Nintendo Switch sounds better, but I take your point. We should call it the Switch 2. It is the smartest way to go. People are way dumber now than they were in the Wii U days. Less people know how to read. Less people have critical thinking. The boomers have more lead in their brains. So even if they're gonna buy things for their children, it's just going to be difficult. So just calling it the next version of the Switch, the updated Switch 2. That's the best way to go. So yeah, it's a fine name. And I said this on Twitter. I don't like having the big ass 2 on the dock and the Joy-Con thing. I'm not even going to use that thing anyways, right? We're going to buy the Pro controller. That's not a problem. But on the dock, the big old 2, I was a little surprised that they really went with that. We all saw the leaks and the 3D printed switches, and they had that big ass 2 there. And I was like, I really hope these leaks are fake, but I doubt it though. They do look real legit. And turns out they were real. So yeah, I'm not a fan of the big 2 on the dock itself.
Gotcha.
Maybe I'll put a sticker or a condom over it or something. You can put little sleeves over the dock to, like maybe to like protect your screen if you're paranoid about scratching your screen against the dock, which doesn't really happen, but
Yeah. Maybe they can do wraps like the Xbox or something. Switch wraps.
Yeah. Or it probably just means I'm gonna have to buy like other versions of the Switch 2 that might not have the big old 2 on the dock. If that ever happens, then I'm buying that immediately. Monster Hunter Switch 2, and it just has one of the monsters on the cover.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
100%, or a Zelda Switch 2 where it just has a Triforce and gold. Of course, totally.
Yeah, of course. All right, Micah, what do you think about the name?
Yeah, as someone who had lead poisoning, I agree with Gene that simplicity probably is best. And I had lead poisoning as a child. I think
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to laugh. I'm sorry.
I'm going to laugh. It's funny. It's fucking funny. No, so Colin and I often joke that that's what's wrong with me, was the lead poisoning I had as a child. But I agree, as a gamer, would have been awesome to have it be the Super Switch. However, this was actually very recently saw on Reddit someone who was like, it was one of those today I fucked up posts, and it was like, ruined Christmas because I bought my kids the wrong Xbox. And it was, dude sends his wife to, the store, like, go find the Xbox Series S. And she comes home with an Xbox One S. They wrap it, they don't notice. Kids open it, it's the old model, and it doesn't even run the games they want, right? And it's just like, yes, this is confusing. This is not a good idea, especially if your parents are simply parents and not also playing games with you. They're like, I'm just trying to buy you the newest newfangled toy, versus someone who's actually knowledgeable about the systems to purchase you one. So yeah, in terms of the Wii U debacle, they're not going back to that. They're making it very clear it's the Nintendo Switch 2. I agree with Gene. Having it on the console it's only odd because it's not stylized. It's not like some cool font like PlayStation 2, right? Like, it just is a big ass 2. It just doesn't like it, it's just like, I feel like there's a million ways that logo could have been made much better, but this is what they went with. But yeah, in terms of naming, I'm glad they're keeping it simple. Hopefully, I feel for the poor employees of every GameStop and electronics department who have had to deal with like the Wii U, the Xbox Series versus One. This will make it so much easier for every retail employee in the world. But
no doubt.
Yeah, I think it's fun? Not really. Does it make sense? Absolutely.
Yeah, totally. Totally agree with Micah.
Yeah, I agree with you guys for the most part. I think doing the numbered thing is the best bet for people to understand, like you're saying, Gene, as well. PlayStation 2 kind of set the trend, and Apple really blew it up. Everyone knows what that means nowadays. They understand it's like a newer version, a better version. What clearer way can you do it than 2? I agree, Super Switch would have been the coolest name, but that's okay. Whatever.
It sounds like an upgraded Switch, right? Nintendo Switch Advance would be even worse, right?
Yeah.
Even though as much as we would all love it too, right? But, yeah. I mean, they're going real simple, Nintendo Switch OLED.
Yeah.
They didn't call it Nintendo Switch True Blacks or anything like that,
Right.
Like,
right.
Just the Nintendo Switch OLED. That's just what it is. Yeah. Sorry, Micah.
Yeah, Nintendo. Oh, no, not at all. I'm cutting you off. Nintendo Switch Lite. Just thinking back to like the DS, and it's like we had the DS, the DSi, they and then it's like 3DS, new 3DS, new 3DS XL. Those were just
new
like
2DS XL.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. It's like those names were clunky. Those names were not sexy. But you knew exactly what you were getting. It's a 2DS. It's the XL size. It's the new 3DS XL. the names aren't fun to say, but it was very clear what you were buying when you bought it. So I think they are definitely going for the move of this is simple for everyone to understand which product they're getting, what they're walking home with. But no, it doesn't scratch the itch I wanted of. It would have been cool to do the Super Switch, or then but then someone's like, what are they going to do next? It's like Switch 64. And it's true. Like, yeah, what do you do for number 3?
Yeah.
It's
That'd
what
be
we all
awesome.
hoped for, like Xbox 360, and when we all thought they're going to do 720, and it's like, yeah, but then how far do you keep going with this, right?
Yeah, that was like Xbox Infinity. I remember that's what
Yeah.
they thought it was going to be called as well. Yeah, those are great names though. All right, so we've
Xbox
seen the hardware.
360 wasn't that great of a name, honestly.
No,
when
it's
you think
not.
about it.
Don't you dare! Don't you
It's
dare
not.
do this to me! It's
Like,
my
what does that
favorite
mean?
console of all time.
Spinning around. What does
I
that
don't
even
know
mean?
what it means. 360 no scope, bro.
That's
All
like
right.
Max late 90s marketing. Everything was extreme Mountain Dew, X Games.
Surge.
Yeah, Surge, exactly. That is the Xbox branding. I guess what? Xbox came out 2001, so that all makes sense, I guess. But 360, yeah. I feel like they were 5 years too late on that name, Micah. But alas, we're not here to dunk on the Xbox.
Yeah, it worked. It was still the most successful
Oh,
system,
it
right?
worked.
So,
Yeah.
so who
Dude.
are we to criticize a name when it was the only system that came closest to actually dominating the market and beating PS3?
And this is
Yeah.
after all the Red Ring problems. It still did so well. It's like, yeah, I'm willing to buy a 6th one of these.
Yeah.
They keep breaking, but sure, let me see if number 5 is the ticket, right? I
Yeah.
think
That was
that's
wild.
most remarkable is that they
Yeah.
actually still did so well. That could have sunk them, with
They
all
made
the
a
issues.
lot of versions of the Xbox 360 too. But anyways, we talked too
Oh,
much about the
yeah.
Xbox 360.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, yeah, I had like the shiny one, I had the matte black one. Like, dude, I
I had the
remember,
black
yeah,
one.
they,
I had the
Yeah.
black one. That was cool.
yeah.
I had the R2D2 one too.
Oh, that
Oh,
one's
that's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
The one that just sounds like R2D2 when you turn it on instead of the.
That is cool.
you know?
Yeah. I like that. I had just the normal one, but it red ringed twice, and I was like, all right, I'm done. That's enough.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah.
That was enough. Yeah, that was good.
I played
was like,
all
all
of
right.
Witcher 2 on the Xbox 360 on the
Oh,
R2D2 Xbox.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. Witcher 2, yeah. That was only on Xbox. So weird at the time.
Yep, Xbox 360. Yep.
And PC. of course,
Xbox
but yeah.
exclusive.
Yeah, it was. Okay, so we've seen the hardware now. It looks like the leaks that we saw a couple weeks ago or a week ago with the little trim. I do like the trim on the controllers now, the little blue and the red pink color. I think that's very nice.
Yeah.
It
They
keeps
they
that
look like
Switch one
rims,
here.
on a car, right?
Yeah. It just looks a little more classy and elegant, I should say.
Mhm.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the old colored Joy-Cons too. They look cool. But I just think this is a nice evolution of that. But since both of you are big into the handheld, the form factor, the Switch is now bigger. The Switch 2, I'm sorry, is bigger than the original Switch a little bit. Bigger Joy-Cons. Micah, how are you feeling about this as a handheld enthusiast? Did what you see today please you?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of it is a upgraded version of what we already have, absolutely, because that's exactly what I wanted. Give me the same form factor, give me the same functionality of plugging it into the TV or handheld. That is what I want. It's hard to say that I'm a little disappointed that it's actually a bigger console, but this is stemming from I have so fallen in love with the Switch Lite. And so actually last night, I'm playing Kingdom Come Deliverance on the TV, and Colin's like, oh, he finished his work, and he's like, do you mind if I use the TV? And I'm like, yeah, just hand me the Switch, right? So it was the OG Switch, of course. And I was like, man, this thing's heavy. Just compared to the Switch Lite, and I'm like, interesting. I have kind of formed a preference for the smaller version of the console. So I'm happy for the general public that the Switch is going to be bigger, the bigger Joy-Cons for everyone else who has like really large hands. Even for me, the Joy-Con grip was way too small. Like Gene said, nobody's using the Joy-Con grip. That thing's tiny. I'm a small 5'4" woman. Okay. That thing's way too small. But I'm a little torn
It's
that I
cramped,
actually,
it's like
yes,
this,
No, dude, especially, and like something people don't consider, like I have long nails, and they just literally, it's like, yeah, my hands are small, but then I have these long nails, and it's just so cramped. So I'm a little torn on how I feel about the console actually being bigger, but I know that it's a plus for most people, and so I'm still excited for everyone else. But I'm actually a little like, I would have maybe kept it the same size, honestly.
Yeah, if we could keep it the same size, I'm sure it's bigger because of the power,
Right.
the necessary power. You probably need, the fact that it's as slim as it is already,
Yes.
I think, is kind of a miracle. So we'll see. Oh, Brad, I can't hear you.
Sorry, I was gonna say it reminds me of the Steam Deck, kind of the size. Steam Deck's pretty big and chunky,
Mm.
I would say. So I wonder if they're just kind of, if that is what people expect from handhelds now, or more okay with that now.
Mhm.
This is definitely not your Switch Lite, Mike, where you can carry probably pretty easily in something like this. This looks like a big old boy, big console. But I think it is a smart move just for the sense of hands and sizes. Like, I'm not going to use the Joy-Cons unless I have to. Let's be real here. But I do think the Joy-Cons before were way too small for most hands. Children, of course, very well. Even for Micah, though, with her Nosferatu fingernails, a little too long or too small. So I'm glad they're adjusting it. Gene, I just want to talk about, what do you think of the look of the system, though?
I think it looks delicious.
Yummy?
Right. I think it looks like I could eat it because the Switch is kind of like, it's a tablet. It's a monitor. It looks like a Raspberry Pi like screen or whatever, right? That you can connect or whatever. So it was a little bit, for lack of a better term, brutalist. Not quite brutalist, obviously, but just a little bit more than that. And this one, at least in terms of the renditions that we saw in the short 2 minutes and 22 seconds 222 trailer, looks very rounded. Like the monitor itself, the screen itself looks like rounded edges, and then the form factor, the way the Joy-Cons kind of click into the thing. I never liked sliding into the Joy-Cons. It always felt a little flimsy and like a rail gun or something, versus just clicking in. Like hopefully, that won't have as much wiggle in terms of because any Switch handheld player for the regular Switch knows that the Joy-Cons eventually start wiggling or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes.
They feel really solid for a new Switch, and I know this because I have three new Nintendo Switches, right? So every single time I open a new one, I was like, oh yeah, it feels solid again, right? It feels like one thing, and then you play it for a couple of days, and it already starts to like wiggle a little bit. So I'm wondering if it's gonna be nice and solid, like a Steam Deck, which is just one form factor. So that's why I say it looks delicious, because it absolutely looks so much more like one form factor. The deep gray, dark gray, black color looks delicious. I don't know. I want to eat it.
No, Gene, that's a very good point. The original Switch, I don't know, like the word that comes to mind for me is like utilitarian. It
totally.
does just look like a rectangular tablet, and this two controllers kind of popped onto it. This does look more like Brad said, kind of like stylish, like the Steam Deck, honestly. Like it just looks a little more polished.
Oh yeah, the Steam Deck is a good comparison because the Steam Deck has a little orange rim underneath the thumbsticks too. The little valve orange right there. So now we got the Nintendo blue and red going on. Very very.
Yeah,
cool.
just the shape, like you said, the kind of more roundedness to it. Like it does just look a little more like I don't, what is the word? Not luxury. That's not the word I want. But it just looks a little bit more like a little more upscale product.
Yeah, it looks more luxurious
versus like the original Switch, because that's part of what I really like about the Switch Lite. It does look more polished and high quality, being all one piece. Like it really does, having it in person, and also just the feel of it, like you said, Gene, not having like the wiggly Joy-Cons, which happens after a while. It does just feel like this feels like a much more high quality piece of equipment, simply because it's not like rickety. It's not rattling at all when I take it off the dock. And that's because I played a ton of handheld mode, but it's what happened over time.
Yeah. For the Joy-Cons, we talked about this. They have bigger size. They're a little bit bigger now. We talked about the color scheme. There's a few differences, though, compared to the original. Like we were saying, or Gene was saying, it's not the slide anymore. And you guys are talking about, it's more like a magnetic. There's like a little slot for it to also go in, like goes into the side now instead of sliding up and down, which I know you guys are saying would be very good. I actually haven't had a lot of Switch wobble because I don't play in a handheld very often. So that is very interesting to learn about. It's just like that shaky thing. Like, yeah, you don't want that. It makes it feel cheap. So hopefully like,
it did feel cheap all the time. Just like, it feels like you're on train tracks, as you're playing.
Yeah.
And like, not only did it feel cheap, but mine got so loose, that it actually like would I'd be playing a game and the controllers wouldn't work for like a couple seconds.
Oh,
Like
man,
I'd
yeah.
be realizing like, why isn't this working? And it's because the Joy-Con had popped out of place just enough and that I had to pop it back down. And it's like, and I swear to God, people be like, what are you doing to this thing? It's like, I swear, I'm just holding it. All right. I'm
Yeah.
just holding it with my dainty little vampire hands. And it just, after 7 years of use, the thing's loose as a goose. Okay. So yeah, I'm happy about this new connection idea.
Yeah. I am looking forward to it. We also got, so at the top of it, you have the R and the ZR button as well, but you have, it looks like on the back of it a little more. We talked about this last time, but there's a new button. I wonder if that's for just socking it in or locking it in instead of like the little tiny button we had before. It looks a little bit bigger, I guess. It almost looked like it could be a normal button, but I'm not really sure how that'll work out. And on the front of the Joy-Con, right below the home button now, there's like a little extra button. I don't know what that one's going to do either. Do you have any ideas, Gene, what you think that would be?
People are calling it the mysterious C button.
Oh, a C button. C, yeah. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, but it's unlabeled.
One C button.
Yeah, it's unlabeled, so interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
And then a lot of people are theorizing that when you see the Joy-Cons snap onto a little the thing, and then they start sliding around.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that could be the mouse functionality that's been long rumored.
Yeah. We talked about that last time.
If the Joy-Cons do indeed have a mouse functionality, that would be very, very interesting for a variety of Nintendo games. Might be one of it's probably going to be another one of those gimmicks where developers like Ubisoft or Activision just won't use at all.
Yeah.
But Nintendo has a million games, or not a million games, but like so many games that could benefit from that. Imagine making Mario Maker levels with a mouse, as opposed to like the Wii. Like it was really easy with the Wii U screen, right?
Right.
Mario Maker experts know that the Wii U version was actually probably the best version to actually make levels in. But yeah, using a mouse to navigate and make levels. You used a mouse to Animal Crossing, right? When you want to, lay out all the roads and all the things, and you just want to like do that all, you can just do that with a mouse. Splatoon is going to be huge with that, or any first-person shooter game, probably. Who knows?
Yeah, I wonder how they'll handle it. I do think it's going to be one of those things, Gene, like you said, Nintendo will do it, and some of the third party at the start will do it, like Ubisoft and whatever, they'll get crazy on it. But then I think it's one of those things that'll kind of just fade in the background.
No, I'm saying Ubisoft won't do anything with it.
Oh, you mean? I think they'll do something at the beginning, like some.
I do think that the third parties will probably do something in the beginning, just to play into the hype and just play, just try it out maybe. But developers are lazy or not lazy. I'm sorry, developers. Developers are busy and there's not a lot of time. And they're going to be porting games. I don't think Elden Ring is going to have a mouse functionality.
That'd be funny. It could work for Metroid Prime 4 or whatever.
Metroid Prime, yeah, exactly, totally.
There's a lot of examples that it could work with. No OLED screen. Not a surprise to me at all. It looks like just an LCD screen. I saw a couple people are upset about this though, but I was like, man, they're gonna wait. They're gonna wait like 2 or 3 years, then bring out the OLED.
And that said, an OLED screen is expensive. It would mark up the price of the Switch too. And do you really want to debut the next Nintendo system at $500, $600? I don't know. It would be the price of the Steam Deck, basically.
Yeah.
But if you want to be competitive with the Steam Deck, probably we can talk about pricing later. But my guess is $400. So yeah,
mine too. Yeah. I would say if it had OLED, it'd be at least probably $450. They would do that.
$450, if not $500. Especially since it's a bigger screen.
This is just the one thing we've seen. They're for sure going to do different versions of this thing. They always do. Absolutely. I mean, it's just what all console people do. It's just what happens.
Yeah, so. And also we've been singing the praises of the PlayStation Portable, which does have a beautiful screen. It's LCD too, so no one really complains too much about that either. So. Yeah. In the end, if it's a good LCD screen, then I don't think a lot of people will mind. But definitely a bummer, though.
Yeah. How do you feel about that, Micah? Someone who doesn't even play on an OLED Switch at all.
You have an OLED TV, though, guys, right?
She does, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And it looks fine. I guess the TV looks good. I
True
feel.
Nintendo fan right there.
Hell yeah.
Looks fine. Yeah, I can't tell.
Dude, I'm playing Kingdom Come Deliverance on Switch. All right,
I
we'll
know,
talk
good
about that
Lord.
later. But like,
Woo.
if I can put up with that, okay,
Stink.
yeah. I mean, this is definitely, in my opinion, about getting the most people to buy in early with a lower price point. Because you both are absolutely right. How much would it raise the price to launch with an OLED screen versus selling you an upgrade later? And if you don't want this right away and you're going to wait for the upgrade, like I just saw somebody in our community who's like, yeah, I never got the original Switch, so I'm really excited for Switch 2. So there are still people who never even had the original one, definitely want to get this one. There are other people that are going to wait for the higher end model. And that's Nintendo's just going to say, yeah, we'll sell at a lower price first, though, because that just makes the most sense.
Yeah. I mean, they'll get people to buy 2 or 3 like me and Gene. It's going to happen. And I've accepted that. That's just the way it is. Maybe Micah will get a new one. We'll see. She'll upgrade or if she'll ride or die with her Switch too from the very beginning to the very end, like she almost did with her first one.
I probably will do the same thing again because it's like, well, I mean, she almost took me there. I probably would get a light. If they make another light version of Switch 2 a couple years from now, probably would get that for travel. But because the big thing too that I also see in our community, people saying we had an original Switch for the family. When the OLED came out, that became my Switch. And then the kids didn't have to share with me anymore, right? And that's just another way, like, if you already know that your family needs, in quotes, 2 of these to keep everyone happy and everyone have a fair turn, then yeah, the upgraded one is for dad and the kids get to use the original. That's also a part of the marketing scheme, I'm sure.
Yeah, totally. We saw a new kickstand in the back too. A new stand, I should say. It looks much better, in my opinion, this time around. What do you guys think? Just looks way more stable. And I know a lot of people actually like the stand.
No, dude, the original kickstand is sketchy. All right, like I don't trust that thing. I don't
Worst thing
trust
about the
it at
original
all.
Switch. Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad. And I'm the person, when we talked last show about favorite third-party accessories, I love the Hori brand Switch stand because the kickstand, on top of just feeling flimsy, it's like, no, it's not much range of motion there. Whereas like the Hori stand has all these different angles you can set it at and you can charge it while it's on the stand. So there's just a bunch of benefits. But this new kickstand, they're showing all like the range of motion, but I'm like, some kid day one is going to pancake that thing like right onto the table.
Oh, yeah.
Like you just know it. You can just feel it in your heart, but it looks way better.
Absolutely. This whole presentation is mostly just focused on revealing the system itself and its name, but we got a couple other details about it. One is we saw Mario Kart, a brand new Mario Kart. The rumor was true that we heard about a new Mario Kart being a launch game for it. And we just saw a little bit of it, just a little bit like off-screen kind of footage almost. And it looks like it takes place in like a desert freeway, kind of like a Route 66 scenario, like a level. But just want to know what you guys think about it. Just general thoughts before we kind of talk about what's in the actual gameplay. Micah, what did you think of this Mario Kart? Aside from Donkey Kong's new adorable look.
No, this looks really awesome. I mean, the draw for Mario Kart for me is always just all the new tracks, right? I don't really even need them to like reinvent the wheel, so to speak. It's just like, where are we going? Because it's always been these really fun little snippets of Mario's world, basically thinking of like my favorite Mario Kart Double Dash, and just all my favorite tracks on that one. And I just loved these little snippets of the world. Mario's world is horrifying, by the way. It's like there's erupting volcanoes and lava-filled evil lairs. And it really was just, though, each track so different, so unique. So, yeah, when you said like Route 66, and I'm thinking like, oh, man, Cars. One of my favorite Disney movies. Fucking love Cars. No, I'm already excited about this. I'm going to buy this Mario Kart. I swear I will.
Okay.
I mean, I boycott Mario Kart 8 on Switch because I was like, I already own this game. I'm not buying it again. Right. And then they never released another one for Switch. And, well, that was fine. I took a couple of years off.
Yeah. Some of the characters I just see in the trailer, I'll just list off. Of course, you got Mario, Luigi, Bowser, Peach. Looks like we see Daisy, Donkey Kong, Yoshi, Wario, Waluigi. I think that's a baby Mario perhaps going on back there. And I saw speculation of people saying, because on the start track, there's room for 24 racers. So people are speculating it'll be 24 players now, or it can be up to 24, which is the most I believe Mario Kart's ever had. So that could be really
so
fun.
Chaotic.
Yeah. And in the trailer, there was a Yoshi's like burger stand or something like that, Micah. I thought of you immediately because I was like, oh man, Micah would be all about that right now. Yeah, what is it? It's like Yoshi. Yeah, it just says Yoshi's. It looks like a burger place. I want to eat there now. It's awesome. Looks great.
I'll go there.
Yeah, absolutely. Go there.
I'll order the big wet Yoshi burger, please.
Ew, the Yoshi egg, dude. Give me the Yoshi egg. And but yeah, it's like a Route 66 kind of desert level. It's really funny. Like a lot of the rocks in the distance are giant mushrooms, actually, or like giant rock mushrooms. So I appreciate that. Like you're saying, the world of Mario is horrifying. Gene, what do you think about Mario Kart? What we've seen so far? Very little, but first impressions.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was. It was really hard to tell, you know. Of course, people are you know, as soon as I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, they're showing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, of course, you know. I'm not going to show anything. And then you look a little closer, and all the character designs are a little rounder. Carts look a little rounder. Donkey Kong definitely looks way different, much more classic. And you notice that there are 24 slots for racing. So this is going to be a massive, massive Mario Kart. So yeah, we truly didn't see anything. It's hard to go on, and it's a very flat desert. Yep. You know, there's not there was just very little information other than Mario Kart. But man, if they got Mario Kart on launch,
huge.
It's over.
Huge game.
It's over for the console race. That's it. You know?
Yeah, it's Jover, man. Yeah, they win.
It's Jover. You might. It might as well be. It's like half of GTA, or like, you know, it's like. Yeah, it's kind of like a GTA level release, you know, for and it's a console exclusive, not anywhere else. You know, it's not going to be day and date on PC. You know, it's going to be on the Switch too. That's it. You know, everyone's going to have. If you want to play the new Mario Kart, and everyone's been waiting for the new Mario Kart. This is going to be the next. This might be the next Breath of the Wild, the game that sells 1-to-1 with the new machine. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like anyone who's going to buy this thing is going to buy this game. I mean, it's the only thing we know of, but Mario Kart is already one of their biggest games, so it seems like a no-brainer for everybody.
Mario Kart is already like almost it's 1 out of 2 Switch owners, basically.
The attach rate is insane, especially for a newer version of an old game. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's just a Wii U game, for Christ's sake, you know?
Yeah, it's insane. They also talked about in this. So this was the only game we saw, but they're going to have another direct on April 2nd focusing on Switch 2. So we're going to learn more about it then. We're going to see more of the games, I'm assuming, and all that kind of stuff. And hopefully the pricing and date. We're kind of speculating, I think, June, July. I'm guessing later than I would want. I was hoping it would come out March or April, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. I mean, who knows with Nintendo? It could come out a month after they show that thing. I never know, but you guys feeling comfortable about June or July for release?
Yeah, I think that sounds right. Yeah. If we're not going to get like a full direct about it till April, yeah, I think June or July feels safe.
Yeah. Okay. Also, good news, confirmed backwards compatibility. They kind of already did soft confirm that, but now we got like the full deal. This is what they said. Play Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games as well as Nintendo Switch games. They had fine print under this. And it says, Nintendo Switch 2 plays both physical and digital Nintendo Switch games. Certain Nintendo Switch games may not be supported on or fully compatible with Switch 2. Details will be shared on the Nintendo website at a later date. So, pretty much most things are going to work. I wonder if it's just kind of like a PS5 thing where only like a very few handful of games didn't work backwards compatibility. So I'm imagining pretty much everything will be backwards compatible on here. Thank God. I'm very happy about that, especially because it's playing physical. So that's huge news for me. Very excited about that. But we still have speculation in the sense, will it enhance anything? Will it boost something perhaps? Or are they going to charge us for more? Which they might. But I am curious about all that kind of stuff. But Micah, you seem delighted when we're talking about backwards compatibility. Please talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, this was the biggest thing that I was waiting to hear because, as you mentioned, we had already talked about like digital games being backwards compatible, but what about physical games?
Mm-hmm.
And it made sense for them to do. They have, in previous consoles set a little bit of a precedent about backwards compatibility, but of course, it just wasn't confirmed until now. Huge for me because I buy as many physical Switch games as possible. So being able to bring my library forward, because I don't have a very large digital library, but being able to play these games on Switch 2 is huge for me, just to know that, great, if my Switch Lite eventually dies, well, the Switch 2 will play these game cards as well. Because it's just a matter of having to keep a system handy. For example, is it the PSP or the Vita that has the issue where like the batteries randomly puffing up? And like people
I
just
don't know.
notice it on their shelf. People, you just look over one day and you're like, whoa, getting puffy over there.
Yeah, I
And
don't know.
suddenly your system's tanked and, unless you can replace it, you can't play any of those games anymore, right? I
Mhm.
didn't want that to happen with the Switch Lite, for example. Like my OG Switch, God, she's going to be resting soon, I feel. But thinking, do I need to have another Switch Lite on hand in case this one dies? And now I don't have to worry about that because all these games will just be coming right over.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, is this the first time Nintendo's like library is going to carry over to another system right off the bat? I think so. Like digitally, at least. Physically, they've
Yeah,
had backwards
because-
compatible, of course, but
Well, we had the
digitally.
issues with like the 3DS accounts, which were your Nintendo Network
Yes.
ID and
Yes,
all
that's right.
that shit being separate. And like that was a major issue of just compatibility. Like, for example, my 3DS, has a completely different username on it than my Switch. And it's funny to like power up the 3DS and be like, oh my God, yeah, it's the old account on here. Pancake Spaceman was my account. And I'm like, dude, like this is my username. And that's why like everybody on Street Pass would walk by me and see Pancake Spaceman, gave you something. But I was just like, what the hell, man? You got it all. It's all disjointed. None of these accounts line up. And yeah, as you mentioned, they fixed all of that with the one unified account now.
Mm-hmm. Gene, any thoughts about backwards compatibility or just good news?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's probably games like 1-2 Switch, like a lot of weird games, games that use the IR sensor that probably doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, maybe.
But I wouldn't worry about it. I'm sure games like Doom or Witcher 3 and
Yeah,
everything else.
Your
will work
Zeldas,
just fine,
Marios.
so.
No, it'll be Tears of the Kingdom doesn't work. You got to buy it again. It'll be like Breath of the Wild doesn't work. You got to buy it again.
Oh man,
that would be dastardly. That would be indefensible. That's for damn sure. No, but
that'd be really funny.
People would riot for sure.
Oh my God, yeah. It'd actually be really funny. Oh, sorry. It'd be really funny if it was like Mario Kart 8 does not work on Switch 2. Just to force you out of it. Just to shove you out of it. You have to buy the new one.
You put it in, it just deletes your save and everything, your game.
Everything you unlocked is gone.
Yeah. Oh my God. Also, they're going to be doing hands-on experiences with Switch 2. They put up on their website that you can have a chance to play Switch 2 at certain places. One of them, you have Nintendo Switch experience in New York. You have one in Los Angeles, and you have one in Dallas. So this is for the United States only right now. I'm sure other countries and regions will do their own thing. But if you want to register, it's free. Registration is open from January 17th at noon to 2 p.m. or at noon until January 26th. So if you want to get a chance to play and you live in one of those regions or close to it, you can sign up. It is a lottery system, though, so you just got to get the luck of the draw. Gene, are you going to try to get a chance to play early?
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously going to try to contact it through my media contacts.
Right.
But, I don't know if I'm going to join the Max masses and try to register for a lottery. But ultimately, I'm pretty sure. Ultimately, the Nintendo Switch, the Nintendo will send me a console.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But I feel like I'll probably go up in April. Sounds like a good story to cover.
Yeah, totally.
So not even for me, but just for just interviewing people at the scene in New York. That'd be fun.
Yeah. April 4th through 6th through New York.
Yeah.
April 11th and 13th for Los Angeles, and April 25th and 27th for Dallas. Yeah, I'll enter. Why not? I'll try to go to the Los Angeles one.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, good stuff. Okay, and just an interesting tidbit I saw here. According to Bloomberg, Nintendo has prepared a supply chain network that will allow the company to sell more than 20 million Switch 2s in its first year. That's a lot. So it looks like they're really trying to battle the hardware shortages that we've seen. Like when the Switch came out, of course, the Wii, not the Wii U, the PS5, the Xbox, all those things struggled for a little bit. They're very hard to find. So it's good to see Nintendo trying to tackle that right out the gate. So we don't have to deal with scalpers and all that nonsense. So I'm very happy about that. But yeah, that's most of the Switch 2 news that I can think of off the top of my head. Is there anything you guys want to talk about or anything that you can think of? Because I think we covered most everything there. But we have some write-ins from the audience, so we can go over some of these. These are specifically rated to Switch 2. Now, remember, if you want to write into this show, I post a thread every Sunday calling for your submissions on our Patreon, so keep an eye out there. This is from Phil Walker. The most underwhelming reveal of all time, or console reveal of all time, question mark, only matched by their own Wii U. I feel like we know next to nothing that we didn't already know last week. So I thought this was interesting. I saw a lot of people had this sentiment kind of about the reveal. And I think it's just because it got leaked.
It got leaked. That's it.
Yeah,
that's the issue.
I mean,
you're complaining because you got because the leakers ruined it for you.
Yeah,
like
that's not
you guys need to be aware of that.
Yeah, that's not Nintendo's fault necessarily.
Yeah,
like they did this a while. They made this video probably a while ago, or a month ago or two at least.
Yeah, I'm not mad at leakers. They can do whatever they want. But I do think that it objectively ruins the surprise. Objectively,
yeah, it does. Yeah,
and that's what Hideki Kamiya went on Twitter for. He said nobody knew about the Okami sequel.
Yeah,
and look at how people popped off for that one. And you think about it, no one knew about the Onimusha sequel. And look at how crazy people popped off for that one.
Yeah.
So Nintendo was clearly going to make this a surprise reveal on Thursday morning. And that didn't really happen because yes, as we said, it feels like we know next to nothing that we didn't already know last week. How did we know last week?
Leaks, baby. Yeah, so we'll probably see Red Dead 2, I'm assuming in April on Switch 2, which would be pretty sick. Hopefully we get a new version of that game on everything as well, though. I would love it.
I'm also tired of saying like, oh, the criticism against people who don't like leaks or are feel like leak culture spoils things. People are like, oh, stop fucking bootlicking corporate boots or whatever like that. And it's like, it's not even about like licking corporate boots. When you think about it, people who do marketing and advertising, they're artists. They put a lot of work into this stuff. They do put a lot of passion into this. Anyone who works in marketing and advertising will know. So to have that surprise, like it does affect like the individual workers and the value that they have in terms of what they do. They're trying to surprise people, and that part of the job is not there anymore.
Yep.
No, for sure, Gene. Because for me, it's like, dude, it's not about like any moral issue of leaks. It's strictly that this trailer with the Switch 2 was designed to delight you with all the little animations and everything. Like this trailer was designed to excite you about the product versus simply seeing a 3D printed version of one on a show floor in a, shitty Twitter picture. And it's like, it's just not like one of these is like exciting and the other one's like, all right, there it is. And so it, like if Nintendo just tweeted out a picture and they're like, here it is, that'd be the same level of boring as well. No, like this isn't a moral issue of like, oh, you shouldn't do that. It's strictly, I would have liked to have been surprised. Like that's all it boils down to is I would have liked to have been surprised.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, this is from the Slayer Giant. Hello, fellow brick punchers. Now that our butts are finally unclenched with the official reveal of the Switch 2 hardware, how are you guys feeling over the prospect of this system having some major third-party support not seen since GameCube? The Switch always had the impossible port running joke, but it feels like the winds may be changing. What games you'd love to see play and slash play on it? Like always, keep punching bricks. So that's an interesting point. More third-party support.
The Switch had more
The
major
Switch had a
third-party
lot.
support than the GameCube. Like,
It had a lot,
let's not forget
yes.
that. You know, just because
Especially at
Call
the
of Duty
beginning.
didn't show up on the Switch doesn't mean that it didn't have major third-party support. Like I said, Witcher and Doom are on
Yeah.
the Switch. CDPR and IdTech made games for the Switch. You know, Wolfenstein, for Christ's sake. You know.
Yeah. You just didn't have like third parties, I guess, or a lot of the bigger third parties making exclusive games for it very often, I guess, which is like Rayman. I'm sorry, Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle and stuff like that. But
Mario Rabbids, yes. Yeah.
I don't know. We just live in a kind of a different era now where stuff is appearing more in everything as we're seeing more and more of. But like Gene was saying, there was a ton of third-party support on Switch. If you want to see Wii U, yeah, totally. You can make that come in.
Yeah,
the Wii U
later on
for
its
sure.
play- all we had is Arkham City Armored Edition. You know, that was that was all we had on the Wii U. So the fact that we even got Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight, even for Christ's sake, on the Switch, that's crazy.
But yeah, I mean, it is exciting because a lot of these games can probably Switch 2 could probably run a lot of pretty modern games, probably just scaled back quite a bit, which is fine. I don't think it'll become a big issue until like PS6 games are kind of multi-plat or pretty common nowadays. So like what happened with the Switch, but they're gonna have plenty of support. People are ready to jump on this console. Like we're getting Call of Duty on this thing. They had that whole deal with Activision, so.
Yeah, Bobby Kotick was famous for saying, "Yeah, one of my biggest mistakes was not releasing on the Switch. That was stupid." You know.
Yeah,
and I think a lot of people who didn't support the Switch harder realize that. You know, even the Yakuza series, they're on the Switch finally. You know.
Yeah. It's a good point, Gene. Yeah, I wonder if we'll get all the Yakuza games then out of.
Oh yeah, I guarantee that the whole series is gonna be ported over to the Switch. That's gonna be amazing.
Makes sense, yeah. It'll be exciting getting some like Square Enix stuff on there. Final Fantasy VII Remake, perhaps.
Rebirth
I would love
too?
to get
Rebirth too.
Yeah, Rebirth could probably get on there. Yeah,
we don't want that. We want 16. We don't want. You can keep those ones. We want 16.
No, you'll probably get 16 as well.
I haven't gotten to play it yet.
Oh yeah, you'll probably get 16 as well.
You'll probably get 16. Yeah.
But you know, as Square Enix announced today, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is Steam Deck verified.
Mm-hmm.
So if it can run on the Steam Deck, should have no problem running on the Switch too. So we're actually going to get the Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy on the Nintendo platform. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Well, we shall see what we get down the line. I'm hoping for Final Fantasy Tactics still praying for that because that is actually a great Switch game, I think. So hopefully.
Kingdom Hearts, I would love the entire the actual
real versions of the game. Yes,
real versions on cart on Kingdom Hearts. I know that I bought them on Steam, and I promised Dustin and countless all of you that I would play it. I still haven't played it. I have gotten past the Tarzan level, so that was my level of commitment.
You can't play the game with like 10-year gaps, Gene.
I'll play like Persona 5. I don't care. But once it does arrive on the Switch, and I got nice, pretty physical versions of the Kingdom Hearts trilogy. I guarantee you that I'll play it completely. Which is weird because Kingdom Hearts is a PlayStation franchise first. And it's weird that I haven't to hang up. But again, like I said, I passed the Tarzan level on the PlayStation version too. So I've been deciding on whether I want. I think I do. I'm being wishy-washy, but I think I do want the trophies on PlayStation. So I think I might.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You want the trophies? Oh yeah. Gotta get those trophies. Yeah, the heritage is there, Gene. But
for sure.
I mean,
there's rumors that Metaphor is ready for the Switch too on launch.
Makes total sense. Yeah.
That makes complete sense. Perfect sense.
I'd play that immediately.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. That'll be so fun to have a little mini spoiler cast with Micah on Metaphor.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Yeah, a bunch of Square Enix. Like Square Enix is gonna be like
same with Ubisoft
all over the Switch
Ubisoft's gonna be.
They're like, like screw this PlayStation exclusive. Please sell some games for us, please.
All right. This is from Andrew Feisner. Nintendo Bros and Micah. Who is the first non-Nintendo publisher we think will see running games on the Switch 2?
Ubisoft.
You think Ubisoft? Yeah, they have a strong history with Nintendo.
Well,
right out the gate.
Ubisoft just has a strong history with being at every console launch. They are every console launch. They were there for Stadia. They're there for the Amazon Luna, whatever the hell that is. They're there for Xbox. They're there for the Ouya.
Ouya.
Yeah. Ugh. Man.
Any which platform, you know that a bunch of Assassin's Creed games are just going to be ported over Switch too. You know.
Yeah, probably. I wonder if it'll be Shadows the first thing they show or something.
Maybe, or
March.
you know, a cheaper port. Maybe the AC Origins through Valhalla trilogy, Origins Odyssey, Valhalla.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Too, you know,
it'd be nice if they put Kingdom Battle on there, both the games on Switch too. That'd be sweet, nice little upgrades.
Mm-hmm.
Because I haven't played the second one yet, so yeah, I think Ubisoft's a really good guess, Gene. I like that.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I hope Red Dead 2's on there. That'd be so.
Hopefully, anyone else.
Yeah, hopefully someone else is there.
but my immediate answer is Ubisoft. Yeah, that'd be great. You know, like Rockstar, obviously regretted not releasing on the Switch because he finally released Red Dead on the Switch. You know, and it's a good port.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Red Dead 2 on the Switch. That'd be real nice. That'd be real nice.
That'd be awesome. Okay, this is
Grand
from
Theft Auto 5. Finally, for Christ's sake, come on.
5.
Like that was probably the biggest gap in the Switch like third party lineup. Like,
Yeah,
I
that's
can't
so
believe
surprising.
they never released Grand Theft Auto 5 on the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, you're right, dude.
Maybe like the online support would have been too much, but that doesn't make any sense. Fortnite is on the Switch, you know, and that's a way busier live service than GTA Online is.
Yeah.
So.
Is Genshin Impact on Switch?
Genshin Impact was promised a long time ago, and they just never.
Oh, okay.
They just never released it.
All right, maybe we'll do it for Switch too then.
Genshin Impact, yeah. Oh my god, like, yeah, you're right. Good point. If it's not Ubisoft showing up to the party, it's gonna be MiHoYo for sure.
Yeah, they're ready.
MiHoYo, the Game Awards,
Zero.
the funder of the Game Awards, basically. You know.
yeah. Yeah, they'll be all about that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Steve wrote in, hey guys, what GameCube games do you expect to arrive on Switch/Switch 2 during the Switch 2's first year? Very specific, saying GameCube, which I found surprising.
That's interesting.
Could you think of any GameCube games? I guess automatically we all think of Wind Waker and Twilight Princess because those were GameCube games, but they'll probably do the HD versions, I'm guessing. But anything from GameCube library specifically, Gene, you can think of?
Man, I feel like off the top of my head, F-Zero GX, right?
Yes, Gene. Yes.
That's just like immediately off the top of my head. For some reason, I thought about the third-party game Second Sight, which I really loved.
Oh yeah,
I really loved it in GameCube. For some reason, I thought about that and Time Splitters, which doesn't make any sense. You can play those games anywhere else too, but dude. But I played them on the GameCube and I really enjoyed them. But that's an interesting question. But I feel like there's still a lot of games. You know, it'd be interesting if they re-release Melee somehow. You know.
Yeah, Melee would be if it had like good online too, or something like that.
That would be a huge revitalization for that degenerate scene, you know.
Yeah, Nintendo wants Melee just dead though. They want you to stop playing Melee. They're just like, please stop. Don't play this game anymore.
Yeah. The bigger question is what kind of Smash? What kind of Smash will we get on the Switch? Will they re-release Ultimate?
Yeah, that's a good question.
All the pack-ins and updates and everything, and then just as one big package. I feel like when it comes to the size of the game, it's hard to see how you can get much bigger than Smash Brothers Ultimate at this point.
I don't think you can.
I don't think you can.
I think they're going to scale it back, honestly.
The smart play would be to reinvent the Smash Brothers series and scale it back a little bit, but introduce new gameplay systems, new methods of fighting, you know.
Mm-hmm.
New ways the stages will be dynamic or play around or maybe the adventure mode again, for Christ's sake, you know, who knows?
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
But yeah.
I was thinking of Wave Race Blue Storm or something. Like we have of course Wave Race 64 on Switch, which is great. But it'd be cool to get Blue Storm on there as well, and like the Rogue Squadron games are fun. But yeah, I don't know.
Oh, Rogue Squadron would be beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Luigi's Mansion 1, for Christ's sake. There you go.
Is that on Switch? They just
It
switched.
was never on the
right?
Switch. Never on the Switch.
Or was it 3DS? They just did.
It was on the 3DS. Yes. So
Okay.
we released the 3DS version. That was a good version too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I don't care about the GameCube games. Like we released the 3DS games. You know.
Yeah. Sure. There's a lot of great
Planet
3DS.
Robobot by Kirby. Kid Icarus. You know. Sakurai's other game.
Oh, Uprising.
Kirby
Yeah.
Triple Deluxe. That's
Yeah,
my
Triple
favorite.
Deluxe.
Yeah.
Favorite
the-
Kirby game.
Yeah, the entire Kirby series. You know, the Mario and Brother, the Mario and Brother, the Mario and Luigi, the Mario and Luigi RPG series.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
And definitely Kid Icarus, because if that mouse thing is real, dude, that would be a godsend for Kid Icarus, because Kid Icarus was an amazing game on the 3DS that gives you arthritis.
Yeah. I haven't played. I'm sure the control scheme's kind of awkward for the whole game.
It hurts. It is the only game that physically hurts me. Like it's like daggers in my goddamn hands. It's crazy because you have to hold it like this, and it's like the entire weight of the machine is just like on your pinky and everything like that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's no exaggeration. I rented that game from GameFly. I think my 3DS shows I might have played it for like a half hour because I was just like, how the fuck are you supposed to hold it? Like it was like when you give someone like an N64 controller and they like hold it like in the palm of their hand, like with the stick, you know, like this. And it's like, it was like, how am I supposed to
down,
do
gripping
this?
It, you know?
Dude, it was like that game just had such a bizarre control scheme to make it work for 3DS. And I was like, this is too much for my lead poisoned brain. I'm out of here. I do want to say Sonic Adventure 2 on GameCube. I want that on Switch. I very much want that on Switch. It's never going to happen.
No,
Hopefully not going to happen.
In general, hasn't been re-released in a while. So
yeah, they're due.
That's good. All right, Sonic fans, I'll give you that one. I liked that game a lot. So
it's a great one. It's the one that was the last good one, the last universally good one besides Sonic Generations, of course. But yeah, especially with Sonic 3 out.
Yeah,
go back
Sonic's
to
booming.
the real original story of Shadow. You know.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Man, let me take care of my little chows. All right.
Yeah, Chow Garden.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Chow Garden would be perfect for like the mouse functionality again too. You know.
Exactly. We're brainstorming so much for them, Gene. We're giving them so many free ideas.
Listen to us, Nintendo and Sega and third party, except Ubisoft.
Dude, like if we don't get a Triangle Strategy 2 out of Square Enix, I'm going to be so upset. I'm going to be beyond upset. Like they're going to see a rage they've never seen before. I'm going to lose it.
Well, get ready because it's Square Enix and I'm used to waiting with them with all those games I want to come back. Still waiting for Vagrant Story, some way for me to play that game.
Oh man,
guys, come on. Still waiting.
Story.
Okay, let's see here. Let's talk about. Well, that's for Switch news. Actually, let's move on from Switch 2 for now.
Can I say real quick about
the
talk to the audience? There are people in the audience, very few people, not a lot of you, who were disappointed or angry for some reason that when last week I expressed that I don't have fun talking about leaks. But now we have the Switch 2, so let me do a little something. Switch 2. That's what you wanted, right? You wanted me to soy face and clap like a seal, right? That's that's the kind of performance you want from Last Stand Media. You know, the authentic reaction.
Yes, what I
Gee,
want.
that was so upsetting.
I can't wait for that to be a GIF or something, dude. That was good shit.
I can't wait for that to be in my nightmares tonight as I'm getting chased down Main Street by Gene.
Yeah. very Lynchian. And of course, shout out and rest in peace to David Lynch, who just announced that he died today. Hugely influential artist in terms of film and TV and storytelling, but especially video games. You know, Silent Hill, Alan Wake, Persona. Link's Awakening, Zelda, and Majora's Mask as well. Countless games, countless people have been influenced by him. So rest in peace, David Lynch.
You know, we got to give him 5 big booms, you know?
Boom! Yeah, I'm not doing all 5.
Oh, Brad, no, I told Gene, all right? I was playing Fire Emblem, okay? In the credits, Satoru Iwata, and I said to Colin, I was like, "Oh man, look at this! Like it's a little sad to see his name in the credits." I was like, "Rest in peace," and he was like, "Let's give him 5 big booms." And I'm telling you right now, we did, and it felt good.
Okay.
It felt really good to give Satoru Iwata 5 booms.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm saying this with no disrespect. Like it actually felt real good to give him those booms.
AJ and Big Justice. I actually only recently saw that video because for some reason a woman found her brother committed. I guess we're on YouTube. Unalived herself, unalived himself. Found her brother unaliving himself, and then for some reason she decided to tweet it. And then the biggest quote tweet. Everybody was making fun of the tweet, which just goes to show how terrible Twitter is, right?
Yeah.
But the biggest tweet of it was the video of AJ and Big Justice going, "Yo, man, I'm sorry to hear about your brother. Here's 5 big booms."
Oh no! Oh no!
Which is really perfect. But But thank you, Micah, to say that it feels like it's honoring someone.
Yeah.
I mean, it did.
I haven't
just
done it yet, but I'll take your word
like we
for
were
it.
celebrating him. I mean, Satoru Iwata is a figure that you cannot say too much about, right? Like you cannot overstate the man's influence. And it was really cool to play this game from 2003, see his name in the credits, in the year of our Lord 2025, and just it's that reminder that he'll never be forgotten. Not to get too sappy. But here it is that I'm a new player enjoying this game, and bam, there's his name right in the credits. So 5 big booms.
5 big booms.
Satoru Iwata, 5 big booms for David Lynch, who I don't know really who that is, but he seems important.
Yeah, 5 big booms. All right, let's move on from the Switch 2 news now. Let's get in the present. Out now, Donkey Kong Country Returns HD is now out. I've been excited about this game for a while. I love Donkey Kong, as some of you may know. In my opinion, Tropical Freeze is one of the best platformers of all time. And this is the predecessor, not quite as good, but good nonetheless. So I'm very happy that is off. It was on the Wii, then they did a 3DS port of it. But I'm happy now to have it on modern hardware. So that's very good. I looked at some videos about there's reviews out there on this kind of stuff, but I did find this interesting. Digital Foundry did a video on it. And they do great work, of course, getting in depth with the technical aspects of the game. And they said it was a decent port overall, but there are some strange oddities, like long load times and some sloppy animations, as well as things like the sunset emissions in stage 3 just gone, I believe. Just like not being there. So it has some strange quirks to it, I suppose. Hopefully they could patch that. But I just wanted to give a shout out to Donkey Kong because it is out now. They also have some new, those like avatars you can get for your profile and picture you can use to spend your coins on and stuff. They have some new Donkey Kong ones. There's some pretty cool ones. There's Rambi the Rhino, which I know Gene was a fan of, which looked really good. There was Squawks also. I want to get the one of Cranky Kong, I think.
Hell yeah.
Something about having Cranky Kong as my avatar is pretty tight, so I want that. I've had
Where's Funky Kong?
Yeah, no Funky Kong. I've had Ganondorf since Switch came out, so it might be time to switch it to Cranky Kong. So shout out to our boy, Cranky. But yeah, Donkey Kong, are any of you guys going to play this, or are you skipping it?
It's too difficult. You know that.
Well,
you know that, Brad. You know I can't
You never
play
know,
this.
Micah. You're sometimes weird, and you just get brave sometimes, and you jump in. So I don't know. Like you're playing... You're playing, what's it called? Kingdom Come on Switch, for God's sakes, right now.
Yeah.
You're a maniac.
No, I have like flashbacks to how difficult Tropical Freeze was, and just feeling like, all right, I'm an idiot. I'm just a shell of a person. I can't play this. Let me go back to my little Kirby games right now. I think it is just like a step too far for me as someone who didn't really grow up playing many platformers. And it's like me trying to learn fighting games at my age. It's like, dude, I didn't grow up with this, and I don't think I could ever possibly learn it. It's just too much. And the thing about fighting games is you can like button mash, and depending on who you're playing, you can do pretty well, but you can't do that with platformers.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe the difficulty on this is just a step out of my reach.
Well, I think there's like an easy mode they added to this game, or some adjustments like that. But I know on Tropical Freeze, they added Funky Kong mode, which is more of an easy mode. So maybe you can start with Funky Kong. Maybe.
Yeah, you know what? if they do that, if I get confirmation that there's a baby mode in there,
I'll let you know. Yeah, I'm gonna play today, so I'll figure it out. Dive in.
you tell me. You
Yeah,
tell
I'll
me,
tell
Brad.
you.
And if you
I'll let
don't
you
tell
know.
me,
Yeah,
if you
dude,
don't
if I
tell me,
can
I'm going to be upset.
oh, I know. If I can get anyone in Donkey Kong Country, I'm stoked. Gene, are you gonna check this out? Or are you good right now?
I think I'm pretty good right now.
Pretty good right now. You played the original, I assume.
I did not actually. Wait, no. This is Donkey Kong. This is Donkey Kong Country 2 or Donkey Kong Country Returns?
Country Returns. Yeah.
I never played this one. No.
Okay, it was the retro one on Wii.
Yeah. Oh, I totally never played this one then.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I should check it out then sometime. But right now I'm just not in the mood for a Donkey Kong game.
Yeah. Makes total
1,000%. You know, love Tropical Freeze. It was very hard. It was very difficult. So, not a relaxing game to play. Not one of my favorite games of all time. But it is an excellent platformer with amazing ideas and beautiful levels. And I'm not sure how Returns will be better, but
it's not.
It's a gap,
good.
so it's not better.
No, it's not better.
So
Returns is worse, but it's still
also
good.
Tropical Freeze is how Chrissy Teigen, supermodel and celebrity Chrissy Teigen, and I became mutuals on Twitter.
Damn, Tropical Freeze bringing people together. I like it.
That's right.
It's a feel good story.
She's a huge Nintendo Switch fan, so.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, she loves playing Donkey Kong and Luigi's Mansion. She just loves Nintendo games on the Switch.
Yeah,
so.
And they're great, man. Okay, but yeah, just Donkey Kong Country Returns out now on Switch if you're interested. Or HD, sorry, on Switch if you're interested at all. This one is interesting. I saw this recently. There was a file for trademark for Ecco the dolphin. I got this quote from Gamatsu right here. Sega filed trademark for Ecco the Dolphin and Ecco on December 27th in Japan, which were made public today. Now, Gene, I know you're a big Sega guy. Does this do anything for you? Does this excite you at all?
Kind of. I liked Ecco the Dolphin, but it wasn't like one of my favorite games. Like I liked like Vector Man better and such. But cool game. I'll probably just buy it on physical just to collect it, just because it is an iconic Sega Genesis game. So, yeah, fairly excited.
Micah, any history with Ecco the Dolphin or any interest in playing a dolphin game?
That game is evidence that Stockholm Syndrome is real. Okay. I had one of those like plug and play Sega things, right? And I just remember being like, oh, Ecco the Dolphin. All right. You always hear about this. Let's check it out. And I was just like, what is it? And I don't know. Maybe I just didn't get it.
It's a strange game.
I was just like, this is just proof that you got this game for your birthday and you forced yourself to like it, because I wasn't having it. So I'm happy for the fans. But myself personally, I can't believe they'd be dragging that dead fish out of the water. I also hate dolphins, as you know, so I can't abide that.
I didn't know you hated dolphins.
I can't stand dolphins.
Back in the day, Ecco the Dolphin came out at a time when water levels were really struggling. Well, water levels still continues to struggle to this day in terms of like level design. But like Ecco the Dolphin was like, here's a game that's all water level, and it's just designed around water, and that was really interesting. You know, it was really part of like Sega's like interesting movement video games, you know, like with Sonic the Hedgehog is like it's going to move way different than Mario does, and Nights Before Dreams on the Saturn is the first game with the analog stick, you know. So Ecco the Dolphin was really innovative in terms of like, you know, how to move across water, basically, you know. But yeah, definitely not one of my favorite games of all time on the Genesis.
Yeah, so. I was never super into it. I played some of the first one. I remember jumping out of the water was cool. But I got lost to that game a lot. I didn't know where the hell I was going.
I remember. Thank you. I remember getting lost a lot in that game too. Like it was frustrating. That's why I think that's why like a lot of people just don't have like the fondest memories of it. But it's a good game though.
No, it's definitely a game I used to associate Sega with though. Back in the day,
for sure.
I was always like, oh yeah, that's like a Sega IP,
the Sega CD version, you know.
Yeah. But interesting to bring it back. They're bringing back a lot of old games or franchises, so. We'll see how it does. So we got Jet Set Radio coming back in the future. Stuff like that. Still waiting on Skies of Arcadia. I would love a new version of that.
That's another GameCube game that could release on the Switch too. And,
that's true.
That'd be fun.
That's a great pull. Yeah.
Oh, the Soul Calibur series. Come on.
Yeah. Oh, Soul Calibur. I hope it comes back someday.
I know
Okay.
Virtua Fighter's coming back. You know, it's crazy.
I
that
know,
it's
that is
crazy that
crazy.
Namco is like just too busy with Tekken that they just completely abandoned Soul Calibur and put Clive, a Soul Calibur character from Final Fantasy 16, into Tekken.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird, you know.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, they had Noctis, now Clive.
Yeah, Noctis too, right? Very strange. And it's weird that you can't have like Noctis versus Clive, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
Square
come
won a
on.
lot of that, except for Dissidia.
Yeah. I mean, that's the value of Smash, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Cloud and Sephiroth, yeah.
Mhm.
Fighting the hero from Dragon Quest VIII. Sora. Yeah,
So cool.
you're right. All right, just quickly, Animal Crossing is having a collaboration with Sea of Life. They did this in the United States before, but now it's in the UK. And I just thought I'd talk about this really quick. So if you're in the UK, you can do this. It's like an aquarium thing, but they have Animal Crossing events. They have like let's see, I have a rundown from them. This is from Nintendo's website themselves. So this is activities and character meets. Equipped with a tour guide to lead the way, guests will explore the sea life islands, meet island residents like Aurora and Octavian, and discover diverse sea creatures. A fossil dig will reveal the ancestors of the marine life that we love today, whilst explorers will search for Gulliver, who has washed up on the beaches of the island. Visitors will be able to collect character stamps, discover many interesting facts about inhabitants of sea life, and meet with Tom Nook and Isabella at the end of their visit. Fans will be able to purchase Animal Crossing New Horizons merchandise at the aquarium store as well. So if you're in the UK and you got a sea life near you, you can go to one of these events and meet Tom Nook and Isabella and spend your money on, I don't know, Animal Crossing merch. But if you're curious, that is available. There's one in Manchester, Birmingham, Brighton, London, and Chessington. So keep an eye out for that if you're in the UK and that sounds interesting to you. And next, I thought this was interesting. A couple of people wrote in about this, and you guys know I want this, but you guys are not as into it. But I thought it'd be a fun exercise. People were asking about achievements for the future now that Switch 2 is official and all that kind of stuff. People do wonder. So Austin wrote and said, "Howdy, good old PUs. Brainstorm a Nintendo trophy system for me. I know they don't want to do it, but let's just assume for a minute they are being forced to do it. Maybe Trump is a secret trophy hunter and he's threatening to invade Japan if Nintendo doesn't do it. I don't know. What would it be called? What would it be opt-in for both? Oh, would it be opt-in for both players and game developers? Would there be a rewards program tied into it? Would your trophies be a couple of layers hidden from other players? All sorts of directions could take it. And you can also say, and you can also say what you would personally like and what you think Nintendo would do. Sucks that Nintendo ain't saying shit about Switch 2. This is from a couple of days ago. So hopefully this write-in gives you Nintendongs a little something to chew on for a bit. Take care, Austin. And this is from BMJ614. Hey, followers of Miyamoto. Would an achievement system on Switch 2 entice you to buy one? And would an achievement system on Nintendo involve stars, red mushrooms, and green mushrooms, like substituting the trophies in PSN? Don't forget the princess will always be in the next castle. Praying emoji and peace right there. Now, yes, like I said before, I want achievements on Nintendo consoles. I would fucking eat that shit up immediately. But I know you two are totally fine without it. But let's say theoretically they did do one. What would you guys like them to do? We talked about this before, kind of like they're saying with the mushroom colors. I was thinking the star colors, like different colored stars or something that could be ranks like platinum trophy, platinum star, gold star, stuff like that. Do you guys have any ideas how you want them to implement it?
Yeah, I mean, as you know, I don't want this. If they were going to, though, yeah, you gotta have some classic Nintendo iconography. So, because I originally, like, I used to love achievements. Okay, I never was into trophies, but I loved achievements. So I wouldn't want them to do that route either, though, with like, numbers. I don't want that. But it would be cool to be like, okay, each game has your little tasks to do, and maybe it is, yeah, silver star, but various colors of stars, and you get the big star with the little balls on the end. You get one of the grand star, whatever the fuck. You get one of those for getting all the stars. But it's just gonna be classic Nintendo feel if you're gonna do this. I need it to feel like this is Nintendo's version of it. and not just like it's slapped on here. Like I'd want a lot of thought put into how it looks and everything, because I don't know, part of why I love Nintendo gaming is because of the kind of cozy vibe to it and the lower pressure. Like, I tell Colin there's nothing more frustrating than playing an entire Tales game on PlayStation and I got 2% of the trophies because it's a bunch of random weird shit that like you just don't organically do. And I'm like, if I play the whole game, I should at least get 30% of the trophies. Give me something because I completed the whole thing. And I would just want Nintendo games to feel a little more balanced if they were to do that. Like let each achievement be something that's tied to natural progression. Do a couple weird ones, sure, where it's things you have to like do intentionally. But I can't stand when the entire list is just random tasks that you would never do unless you looked at the list. Like that's the stuff I always disliked. Even when I was an achievement hunter, that was the stuff I always disliked.
What do you think, Gene?
Same. Yeah, I don't really have much to say other than I hope it's named after stars and Triforces and other Nintendo iconography, as opposed to the platinum trophy. And like gold and platinum wouldn't work because Nintendo already uses that verbiage for the rewards program, the gold coins and the platinum coins. So that'd be confusing, even if they completely got rid of the rewards program, which I don't think they will, because it's so the rewards program is so tied to their actual like physical Nintendo stores too, and they do love that. I don't think that they'll call it that, but ultimately, I don't think that they're going to implement any kind of achievement system whatsoever. Period. So more speculation, stuff that I don't like to do.
You know what, Gene? We're gonna ask Gudetama. This is the magic Gudetama 8-ball. We're going to ask him, will Nintendo add an achievement system?
He's so cute.
Said yawn, most likely. Oh.
Yay.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, yawn though. The yawn part is important. It's like, it's a boring idea.
Yeah, he hates it. Gudetama fucking hates it.
Take that, you babies. Give me those achievements now. Give me them.
I say that as I'm like kind of like on a platinum kick, like right now I'm actually preferring to play so many games on PlayStation. Like I played, I played. Well, we can talk about what we play later. But I played Sonic Cross Shadow Generations, and I bought it physical on the Switch, and I started playing, and I was like, first of all, it's at a 30 frames per second, which sucks. And I was like, I can still get those trophies though on PS5, so I also got the PS5 version, and I beat it there.
Yeah, dude. If I can get achievements in like especially old Nintendo games too, if they did them for like Ocarina of Time, good night. I'd get all.
Oh yeah, that would be huge though. Yes, that would be like, like if you want to platinum or whatever your favorite Nintendo games of all time, think about what a nightmare Breath of the Wild would be to platinum.
Yeah, just don't do a Korok one,
dude. No, they would. They would. The big guy get all the Korok seeds.
I'd do it. I would do it.
Start crying.
I would just want to like break through out there because I have half the Korok seeds in Breath of the Wild, and it almost killed me. So.
All right, cool. Yeah, let's talk about what we're playing. Gene, you kind of hinted about what you're or talked a little bit about you're playing. Let's start with you.
Have I talked about Shadow Cross Generations?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't remember.
I can't remember. But if
I honestly, in the last week, I actually haven't played anything at all.
Oh.
I've just been kind of chilling and hanging out with people, touching grass and meeting people. But that's one of my resolutions is actually to be less online and less isolated and go back to being my more social self. So, I actually have a date tonight.
Ooh.
So right after we log off, I'm going to be going over to someone's place. So,
going to Cheesecake Factory? Cracker Barrel?
There is a Cheesecake Factory here for sure.
That's the date spot, Gene. That's the date spot.
Well, you know what? I did take a beauty pageant, one of the beauty pageant queens that I was dating to the Cheesecake Factory, and it was a good time.
Hell yeah!
Nice.
Cheesecake Factory.
And it worked.
Incredible.
It worked.
Okay.
It worked. If you meet someone with a good sense of humor or who's down and chill, like Micah is obviously, then it's definitely fun. So, but other than that, though, I did finish Yakuza Kiwami on the Stinky Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Really weird experience, but really cool that it has the Japanese tracks, as I mentioned last time. I really haven't played anything much, but I did play Shadow Generations over the break too, and I forgot to mention that maybe. Um, wow, great game. Uh, I feel like I definitely mentioned this before, but we're not ready for the conversation that Shadow Generations is probably as good as Astrobot.
Actually, yeah, I do remember you saying that one time.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just a really good game with really really good level design. I was really surprised at how smooth the levels went and everything. But other than that, though, yeah, I just really haven't played any games this week. I
That's
do
fine.
plan to play a ton of games this weekend for sure, because I do miss playing video games, and it's just been a stressful last week or so. And I'll talk about that later too. But yeah, that's it.
Cool. Yeah, sometimes you
I'm
just need to
excited
take
to
a
play
break.
some games, any game.
Yes.
I have. Another thing. I have been playing replaying Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Oh, really?
On the PS5. We'll just say that, you know. And I've just been having a good time. It has been just under a year since Rebirth released.
Yeah.
Right. Because it released in February. And it's really nice. As I'm replaying it and just the pressure of the ending and how they're gonna stick the ending and what the game is like is lifted from my brain and my heart. I can just enjoy the game for what it is. So I'm appreciating so many little things. I've been tweeting up a storm about the musical drops that Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth do. You know, the way. Like when you go into calm and the gameplay starts, and then the calm melody just sinks in as you're able to, as the UI elements pop into the screen, cling cling, and you can just start walking. Beautiful stuff. And then those who fight just dropping in at the tutorial section for Final Fantasy VII Remake. From the other drop from me in Rebirth was Cosmo Canyon. Oh my god. Cosmo Canyon song. The Cosmo Canyon song is already like a top 5 jam of Final Fantasy VII, and then when it just enters, when you realize that you're at Red's home, and then the camera just swoops behind you, and then the main melody of Cosmo Canyon hits, and those bongos hit. Oh, it's just pure like. I think it's really underrated how excellent the direction is overall in terms of the visuals, gameplay, sound design, the acting. How all of that really comes together to provide this emotional and almost spiritual experience, you know? I really do feel like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth kind of got the short end of the stick. And to be fair, I did give it my fourth best spot of 2024. So it did sink in because objectively, I think the ending could have been handled a little better. And we obviously don't have to talk about that. But but then I've been listening to other podcasts, other Game of the Year podcasts, and a lot of people seem to be dunking on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
I don't get it.
People are saying that like the characters are stiff, and I was like, what? Did you play?
Yeah,
that the characters are stiff?
They're not stiff at all.
That's not the experience at all. And that there's nothing going on or whatever. That it's like you fundamentally actually don't understand what the original Final Fantasy VII was about. Actually, so it's been a little surprising to see the revisionism on Rebirth when you actually play it. And again, believe me, once you're lifted of that pressure of worrying about how they're going to stick the landing at the end, replay the game again. It's going to be a magical experience. Try it again. Colin will never replay it because he's been traumatized by the 100-hour side quests.
Oh my! I'm the one who's traumatized. There was a point he's playing a piano or something, and I was like, and he needed it to be perfect for a trophy or something. I was like, I need you to put on headphones because I cannot hear this again. This is like the 20th time in a row that you're trying this, and
guess what? I didn't do the piano minigame at all, and I loved the game. You can love the game. You don't have to do everything, Yeah. But Colin is mentally ill, so that's true. That's the issue there. So
I loved it all. I did it all. No regrets.
Did you really do it all?
All the mini games and everything, yeah.
Damn.
All that stuff.
I did everything. Queen's Blood. I'm still stuck at the final battle. I gave up the final battle. I'm like,
I beat Queen's Blood. It was sick. I love Queen's Blood.
Don't get me wrong. I love. I played Queen's Blood later. I loved Queen's Blood. I actually got super addicted to it, and I got really into getting the cards and making sure that I got my best deck. And then the last fight is just super hard, and I was just like, okay, I don't have time to like figure out like how to beat this one, because I was crushing Queen's Blood all throughout all the way up to the last boss, and then I just got like really discouraged, and I was like, I feel bad leaving that behind. So I'm definitely the part of my replay is definitely, trying to finish Queen's Blood properly.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting, Gene. When part 3 comes out, then everyone will say Rebirth's the best one. That's what happens with everything.
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah, I'm already seeing that now. Where a lot of people are saying, "Oh my god, remake is so much better than Rebirth," which I completely disagree with.
Yeah, I completely disagree.
I completely disagree with. I think there are definitely parts of remake that are better than Rebirth. Absolutely, for sure. Because I think remake is also an excellent game too. But I think in terms of the side quests were way more confused in remake, even though they were way less. I think the focus on the side quests in Rebirth, play the side quests. They're all about the characters.
Yeah,
they're all about developing the characters and their histories and their thoughts. That's what's really important. It's crazy that people didn't understand that. But they're just too distracted by anime, Tifa, like the same anti-JRPG nonsense. Still, I still feel it in the current games industry, the games media today.
Yeah. Nerds.
Yeah.
All right,
nerds.
Micah, you can stop shaking your head now. What about you? What were you playing?
I guess of course, I'm a JRPG enthusiast, but I just simply don't like Final Fantasy VII in general.
Yeah, stand down, Micah. I'm not going to tolerate that on this show.
I will stand down.
Yeah, stand down.
My notes app update for next punching up. I've been keeping this week to week. So I finished Fire Emblem on Nintendo Switch Online.
Nice.
There's the Game Boy game, Fire Emblem The Blazing Blade is the one that it is. Final playtime, 24 hours, 48 minutes. Nintendo Switch Online is the perfect way to play this because the rewind feature just lets you mess around and tinker with the game without it being so stressful. Of course, this is an older Fire Emblem game, so it has permadeath. I started playing Fire Emblem with Awakening on 3DS, and permadeath was an option, and I have never played that style because the stakes are too high. The stakes are way too high for me, right? So I'm just not into that. And I really liked having the rewind feature to try and save my guys when I could. I did still lose 2 people along the entire course of the campaign. It was characters I didn't like though, so I was like, I'll let you die. That's fine. Because one of the things, I was talking to Colin about this. It's fair in the sense that it is math, but let me tell you something that happened. I'm playing the game. The whole point, you make your choices of where to move your units based on the battle projection. It tells you have an 86% chance to land a hit and do this much damage. They have a 46% chance to land a hit. And you know what would happen a lot of the time is that they would hit you with a 46% chance of hitting you, and you would miss with an 86% chance of hitting them, right? And mathematically, sure, it works, but that's bullshit. And we all know it's bullshit because the point of the game is making sound decisions. The point of the game is understanding the weapon hierarchy, like swords beat axes, axes beat lance, lance beats sword. You respect the weapon hierarchy, and then you put your high-level guys against their high-level guys, and the math tells you, you got an 86% chance of hitting this guy, and he has a 24% chance of hitting you, and he'll hit you and you'll miss. So it just felt unfair. Truly, the point of the game is making sound decisions. I'm making sound decisions, and it just honestly, it's nah. So I shamelessly used the rewind feature simply because I wasn't looking for this experience to be 3 times longer because I had to keep restarting every chapter because of this type of math bullshit. Now, I did have to restart chapters at times. There were times when I was just like, I'm so in the weeds, the rewind can't even save me. So I did have to restart at times. But yeah, I just want to say this was the perfect example of the rewind feature because when it comes to that just garbage when it's like you're trying to make the best choices and the game's just like, nah. It really was like, this is the ideal way to play this when permadeath is on the table. And yeah, really excellent story. I had a ton of fun with the gameplay, really cool weapons and abilities you get along the way. I just super enjoyed this. It's very dated in a lot of ways, but it feels like a time capsule. Like, there's no like dedicated like store or like hub town to go buy stuff. You buy stuff during specific levels. Sometimes there's a shop, and then sometimes you can go buy stuff because your weapons do break, and like your spell books and everything, they get used up. So you don't get to just shop whenever you want to, like in modern Fire Emblem games where it's like go to the hub world and go buy stuff. And even leveling up your characters, when you want to upgrade to a higher class, you have to do that during the game. You have to have a special item in your inventory, and you have to do that during a level, not like Fire Emblem Three Houses, I think it was. Just had like, you go to like the classroom and you can just level up your little dudes. And in this game, it all had to be done in an actual stage. So there's some neat things there where it's like kind of like a time capsule. It's cool to see this older game. But man, the rewind function makes it so much more fun to play. I was tempted at first because I think the story was so good and I was having so much fun. And I thought maybe I'll try and get the old ones, like the other ones for Game Boy Advance. Not only are they stupid expensive, but I said, you know what, when it comes to like how this math is math, and I'm not going to want to play this without the rewind. Like, we're talking without the rewind, this would take me like 75 hours to play, simply because you're just waiting for the, the RNG or whatever to be like, okay, yeah, you did hit him, But this was super fun. Highly recommend it if you like Fire Emblem games. This story really blew me away. Story had me tearing up at points. I wasn't expecting that. And then I did just briefly, I've been playing Kingdom Come Deliverance on Switch. Ooh. I'm saying this, I know people get upset when we say like something is stinky, right? I'm saying this as someone who plays 95% of my gaming time on the Switch, okay? I'm saying that this version stinks because the Switch is old. I'm not saying it because I'm a graphics snob. I'm not saying it because I'm a frame rate snob. I'm saying it because this device is showing its age, and it is simply not good. Like, the Switch version of Kingdom Come Deliverance, it fucking stinks. Okay, like, it runs like garbage. But I'm playing it anyways. I'm having fun. It's a very weird game to get into. It's just the combat system's odd. There's a lot to it, dude. Like, so my shoes got worn out, and I was like, all right, I guess I gotta go buy new shoes. And then my feet started bleeding, and I'm like, this is way too intense. Way too intense. Like, now my feet are bleeding, and I gotta go fix that. And
I'm surprised you're playing this game. Yeah.
I mean, Lockmore kept telling me, here's the thing, I listened to Jimmy Champagne talk about it on Summon Sign, right? And I said, okay, I'm going to give it a try, because I do love medieval stuff. But man, I wasn't expecting my fucking feet to hurt and like, just like, I wasn't expecting all that. It is cool. I'm liking it. I think I keep saying to myself, am I having fun? I'm not disliking it. The thing is that I'm not disliking it, but I keep having to say, am I having fun? Because I'm a little unsure.
Do you think that's a Switch thing, or do you think it's the game itself?
Oh no, this is in terms of the game. For example, I'm like, this is not a spoiler. There's a section of the game where you need to escape, a certain town, and it's like, it tells you like on your objective list, like maybe you should get a horse if you can. But I was like, all right, I'll see if I can get one. But it doesn't lock you to that, right? It's not like a game that's holding your hand and saying you have to get the horse before you leave. And I just genuinely forgot. So I just left. And then I had to just like go on foot everywhere. and it sucks. And there's no going back unless you want to like reload a save that was, an hour ago. So I was like, I'm not going to do that. I will say the game is very generous with saving. Some people are upset, but they did add a save and quit to menu feature so that you don't have to use the save your schnapps, and so that you it takes time because you have to get back to the home screen and then load it again. But it does help you if you're paranoid about crashing and things like that, which I've had no issues with so far.
Oh, good.
The load times are bad. Like just booting up the game. So the game starts up like Witcher 3, where there's like an animation at the beginning and like it's like narrated, and you have to watch it like the first minute every single time. Like it takes forever to load. The load times between areas are really slow. I did, I guess, have a minor crash. It did, like, I tried to reload an existing save and it just wouldn't do it. Like I sat there for a minute straight and it just wasn't going. So I had to, completely shut down the game, load it fresh, and then it worked. So I'll say the load times are ass. But it's got charm. The voice acting is kind of hokey. Like some of the actors are way better than others. I was telling Colin, it's like a community theater project. I mean this in a good way. You have like some ringers. There's some guys that are like, my liege, like the castle is under attack. And then you have some guy who's like, okay. Like it's like just dude. The level of intensity between some of the actors is comical because some dudes are like Shakespearean, production level actors, and some dudes are like community theater level actors, but it's fun. It's very fun, I think. I don't know. There was a tutorial. I'm doing the sword fighting training, right? And it's not telling me how to do this. All it says is hold ZR and change direction. And the guy just keeps saying wrong. Like he's like the dude from I Think You Should Leave. He's just like wrong. Like he just keeps saying it. I'm like, help me. And like there's no help. There's nothing to help me. And I'm Googling it. And then that's even more unhelpful. There's something wrong with the Kingdom Come Deliverance community. I'm sorry. Like you people, where are the screenshots?
You people.
Okay, you type in Kingdom Come Deliverance can't find whatever, and all you get is like text, guides. But it's like, give me a single screenshot circled on the map, like you would for any other game, like any normal person would do. And these people are like, no man, they didn't have screenshots in medieval times. I can't find the bathhouse. And everyone's telling me I stink. Like it's just, I don't know if I'm having fun. I don't know.
Can't you just go jump in a stream or something?
I don't know. Like you can wash yourself in a trough, but like you're supposed to find a bathhouse and everyone's like, it's down there. And I'm like, I swear to God, bro, just give me a screenshot of the map and I will walk over there, but I can't
do a YouTube video. Load up a YouTube video.
I was Googling where's the bathhouse and all I could find was text.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. Is anyone on YouTube?
Ask Lockhart. Video he can help you. He'll know. Yeah, let Micah know.
Yeah, I think it's fun. I think I don't know. I accidentally started the DLC and I couldn't figure out why it suddenly like sucked because this DLC was bad. I was like, this is trash. What happened, man? Like the first couple hours were so strong. I found out I accidentally started a DLC. And it wasn't trash because like I didn't have context. It was trash because it was trash. Like it wasn't good. So I played that accidentally for like 2 hours. And then like, the lady's like, would you like to hear a story? And I was like, all right. And I was sitting, playing on the TV and the icon was so small. I didn't realize it was the icon for DLC. It's got a little bit of that PC stink to it where everything's really tiny because they think you're like right up on your monitor. Right. And like I'm not. I'm sitting on a sofa. And so I couldn't see that it was the DLC icon. And she's like, you want to hear a story? And I was like, all right. And then the DLC started. I didn't know. But otherwise, I think I'm enjoying it.
Okay.
I don't know.
We'll see how your progress goes next week, I guess. We'll see if you're still kind of enjoying it.
Like I was going to start Persona 5 Tactica. And I said, no, you just played Fire Emblem. It's too samey. Play something different. And then Jimmy Champagne, I'll never forget. He did this to me because he's like talking about how fun it was, and I was like, I could go for some fun. PC. It's not about the graphics though, Brad. It's not that.
No, it's not about the graphics. It's about probably everything else. That game was made for PC. It did
give me a little bit of a headache. There's something wrong.
Yeah, you can't read text. With it. Your eyes are getting shot. Dude,
the brightness is so bad on Switch. Colin had said like I'm pretty sure the lighting system is just too sophisticated. I thought I was supposed to go to bed. This is the last thing I'll say about the game. I'm sorry. Like, this is so fucking funny. I'm playing the game. Suddenly it's really dark outside. And I was like, oh, I guess I need to go to bed. And I try to go to bed and the clock shows me that it's 2 p.m.
Oh my God.
And I was like, why is it so dark? And it's just the lighting system, I guess, was broken. Because it wasn't supposed to be dark. It's 2 p.m. and it was pitch black. I had a torch. I'm walking around with a torch in the middle of the day because I can't see anything in the outdoor areas. I had to crank the brightness all the way up. Like, you can't see shit.
That's funny.
Because it's so dark everywhere you go. So that's also broken.
Yeah.
But it's otherwise fine.
Yeah. You're playing like the version that's like a dead corpse that's been out in the sun for 2 months, rotting away.
This would play better on somebody's smart fridge, probably.
Yeah.
And like, this is what I'm saying. It's like, don't take offense when I say this version stinks. Because like, I'm not a snobby person, man, but this version fucking stinks.
We're not snobby people, you know.
I'm not snobby. Like,
Yakuza Kiwami, very, very stinky. I still played through the whole goddamn thing, you know.
Yeah, like, I'm just admitting the facts.
We're trying to be objective here, right? And it's like, yeah,
right.
we're having a good time. We're obviously playing the game, but this is pretty stinky.
Yeah,
exactly. Because it's just the difference of a game truly optimized for Switch. Something like Zelda Echoes of Wisdom ran so well. Okay, in my opinion. I know Dustin had problems.
No.
You know I had nothing wrong with that game.
No.
Love Echoes of Wisdom, one of my games of the year, but you know, again, let's try to be objective here.
I detected nothing wrong with that. Like,
there you go. That just goes to show how stinky Kingdom Come is.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying to these people who take offense. You know? Like, to anyone taking offense, like, I'm not snobby, bro. I'm telling you, this game runs like rat dick, okay? Mm-hmm. Like, it's bad. Ew. And you don't want to play this. I do not recommend it.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah, I also do not recommend playing Yakuza Kiwami for the first time on the Nintendo Switch. Unless it's your only option, then yeah, give it a shot. Or you really, really love to play games on Nintendo, which I do too. I get it. But I would not recommend Kiwami as your first Yakuza experience, especially when you turn around in the city. The trees, the leaves on the trees will just pop in like.
Oh my God, the pop in Kingdom Come Deliverance is so bad. You're literally, it's like, okay, I remember playing Minecraft on Xbox 360, and the pop in would be like as you're walking along, but it's like in game, like 20 feet ahead of you, stuff's popping in. Okay, in Kingdom Come Deliverance on Switch, things are popping in like at your feet. Okay, like you are walking and flowers are popping up with each step at your actual foot. It's not 5 feet ahead of you. It's right here. Mm-hmm. Like, the game is loading with each and every step right up to your nose. And it's just, you know, it's giving me a little bit of a headache every time I play it. And my eyes started to hurt and I was like, I don't feel well. But I'm not going to stop. Like, maybe I will. Now that I know that physical games will be backwards compatible on Switch too, maybe I do stop playing.
Sure.
I think it's giving me some damage. It does hurt me to play it.
Micah, how you're describing your whole experience reminds me of this kind of meme from a while ago. This picture of Christ. It's someone like did a and it's just so bad looking and smudged. It's like the one on the left, the normal one is like Kingdom Come on PC or something like that, or even just normal console, and you're playing the stinky counterfeit fake version of it.
Yeah, no, Colin saw me playing it on the TV because I started it on handheld so you didn't see it, and I was playing it on TV last night while he was working, and he came downstairs and he goes, holy shit, because it is startlingly bad. And I was like, well, wait till you see this. And I turned the brightness back to normal. And he's like, why is it so dark? Yeah. Like, it's like pitch black and it was noon. I was just like, this is the game. The rain is like opaque white lines going down. That's if you ever were a child and you drew rain as just a bunch of little dashes, that's what's on screen. And it's honestly to the point of like obscuring what you're doing because it's just all these white slashes are the raindrops. it's just not good.
Yeah.
This isn't a knock on the Switch. This port shouldn't have been done. They tried to play God with this. And They shouldn't have done it.
They flew too close to the sun.
Too close. But I bought it.
Yep.
I'm going to get my money's worth.
All right. Just quickly, I finished Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, so I'm done with that one. Pretty good. I think I like Emerald still more. It's very funny playing these Pokemon games close to each other because I see how little they evolve over all these years. So it's been interesting, but I had a good time overall. Hardest Pokemon boss that I ran into in that game for sure. It took me like 30 minutes to beat that final boss. It was a struggle. I don't know what was going on, but damn, it's crazy. I also finished Mega Man 1 through 3. So me and Colin, the long prophesized and fabled Mega Man Robot Master tier list. I've been studying up on it. If you guys have seen the shows with me and Colin, sometimes he likes to quiz me on Robot Masters when he holds up his action figures. How many of those does he have, Micah?
Oh my God, dude. Like, I don't know. Because he's bought all the ones that come out so far. There's got to be between 6 and 9 of them, I feel.
Jeez.
I think they're being released in like waves of 3. They're down. Yeah. We also, so he puts the alternate heads for them. They come with alternate expressions, and he's been putting them in our kitchen, on the kitchen cabinet,
Yeah.
What do you call it? Handles. And he's been putting the little heads on top of those. So those are just scattered around my kitchen now. Yeah.
Fucking nerd kitchen. Good Lord.
Oh, we have his signed like Rockman cartridges framed in the kitchen. It's pretty sweet. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, that's cool.
That
is cool. But beat Mega Man 1 through 3. Mega Man 1, definitely the worst out of all of them that I've played. Kind of annoying in a lot of ways. Mega Man 2, good. Couple annoying parts where you have to have like your powers. Like for instance, one boss at the end, you need Crash Band powers. And they like don't give you enough to do it your first time if you don't know what you're doing exactly. So I had to reset and like game over to get powers back. So that was annoying. And Mega Man 3, really good. Couple parts where you have to use rush powers, and if you run out, it's just like, oh, tough shit, kid, you got to game over yourself. So just old, annoying, and stuff like that. But overall, Mega Man 2 and 3 are excellent video games still. So I had a lot of fun going through them. 4, I'll play pretty soon. But yeah, just quick little updates.
Why are you playing Mega Man?
I was, 1 through 3.
No, why?
Why playing it? Yeah. Why? I wanted to do a tier list with Colin, and
trying to steal my man.
Played them. I haven't played through a lot of them since I was young, probably like junior high. It was the last time I went through a lot of them, so it's been like 25 years maybe since they've played a lot of these games. So
that's dope, man. That's cool.
I'm
only asking because I think it's cool. Like, any reason to play Mega Man games is cool.
Yeah, and I haven't beaten 7, I think, and 11. So I want to play through those for the first time.
11 is my favorite.
Beat them.
11 is my favorite. I love 11 so much.
Oh, that's good. Interesting.
I actually like 8. I love Mega Man 8's cartoon anime intro.
I do too. I like the shitty voice acting.
It's really terrible voice acting, but back then on the PS2, I was enamored by it. I was like, oh my god, Mega Man is talking. It's crazy,
Yeah. Dr. Wily.
Dr. Wily. Dr. White.
We gotta stop Dr. Wily, Mega Man. Everything in that game is like one take. They didn't do multiple takes. And he's reading
that was voice acting in the
90s,
2000s, that was Silent Hill 2, baby. Yeah.
I mean, dude, I've actually been laughing at it during Kingdom Come Deliverance because the various voice actors do not pronounce things remotely the same. Like there's a guy named Matthias, and one person said Matthias, and then the person they were talking to said Matthias.
Matthias.
And it's like between that they're having a conversation about the same dude, like referring to him differently. Same with like King Wenceslas, and they each say it differently, and it's just funny.
Maybe
it's just funny.
That is annoying, but hey, maybe that is accurate to how the Anglo-Saxon language was developing.
I mean, you know what? Yeah, who am I to say that? Because like my accent's fucked. All right. True. So yeah, who am I? When Brad said like heritage earlier, and I was like, yeah, that's one of those words Colin always makes fun of me for saying. So who am I to judge?
Wait, is that how you say heritage?
Heritage?
Oh yeah, like heritage, inheritance.
Wow. Crazy. You
Yeah.
ever see those the videos that TikTok video? Rest in peace, TikTok too.
Oh
That
yeah.
TikTok video of people trying to pronounce words. And they, so like this Brazilian grandma was trying to pronounce apple, and like apple's a hard word to say in Portuguese. So all she could say was like Alpi, Alpi.
Yep.
It's language is funny. Language
Yeah,
is
it's
very
crazy.
funny.
No, dude, like I seriously, my biggest hang up trying to learn Spanish. So this is my last tangent, I swear. But my biggest hang up trying to learn Spanish, like in middle school, was my fucking accent. Because it's like I did better at just reading it. Like I can read some Spanish and understand it, but they had no idea what I was trying to say because my horrible mass accent took over. And I just can't do it. I cannot pronounce their beautiful words. It doesn't work.
All right. Cool. Good stuff. All right. Back to the news. Just talk about really quickly, a couple quick news items here before we get into the closing questions. Whoops, this is on the wrong tab. The Wind Waker OST has been added to Nintendo Music, an excellent soundtrack that you should listen to if you play the game. You should absolutely listen to it.
I've heard it. I've heard it. Game Grumps played the game. I've heard it.
Yeah, you heard them probably like talking about farts and rat dicks and stuff like that when you're playing, so just ruined the immersion.
Sticking my gat out for the Rizzler.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
that didn't happen back then. That didn't happen back then.
Yeah, that was too early. But yeah, if you want to listen to that excellent soundtrack, it is there. If you want to loop the sailing theme for an hour, you can totally do that and dream about the King of Red Lions like Micah does. The option is now there.
The soundtrack is a commonly heard music among YouTubers for sure too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rooster Island, all that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good shit. Also, some people might not count this in Nintendo, but I'm going to do it.
Rooster Island, sorry, not Rooster Island.
Rooster Island, yeah. Evo, the schedule came out for Evo 2025 in Las Vegas. I thought I would just list some of these games here because Evo is cool and some of these games are on Switch. So this is August 1st through 3rd at the Las Vegas Convention Center. We got the big games. We got Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. Will be its first time there, I believe. Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising, Guilty Gear Strive, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Age of New Heroes, or New Age of Heroes, Mortal Kombat 1, Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, and Under Night In Birth 2, I don't know how you say this, Cicelis? Whatever, dude. But, Gene, I'm curious about this. Are you into Evo at all? Are you going to be watching Evo?
It's funny because I last year I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go compete at Evo because I saw Blessing over at Kind of Funny compete at Evo, and I was like, man, that's so cool that he did that, like what a dream that would have been. And he didn't win, of course, and I don't want to win. I know I'm not going to win, but what a dream it would be to just travel to Evo and just compete just for the heck of it,
Yeah.
Because I used to compete locally on Guam in like Counter-Strike, right, and fighting games. And then I try to pick up Street Fighter 6, and I'm like, oh man, this game's really hard to learn, and I kind of don't want to like pick a character, whatever.
Yeah.
But then there's the recent announcement and return of Virtua Fighter.
Okay.
And I checked out Virtua Fighter Revo, the PC version that's going to be releasing pretty soon. And I downloaded Virtua Fighter 5, which has the same updates now on the PS5. And man, when I picked the sticks back up for Virtua Fighter, like muscle memory kicked in because I really, really trained hard in Virtua Fighter 4, and I was really, really good at it. And I wanted to test my mettle, so I played against my buddy Pat Staresad on Twitch, and he was streaming Virtua Fighter 5, and he held a little tournament with his followers, including myself. And turns out I did pretty darn good. Pat practices Virtua Fighter all the time, and I was able to go best out of 3. We went all the way to the final round. Nice. Best out of 5, all the way to the final round. And then and like I got him pretty good. And the next tournament, there was another guy who used Eileen, who was crazy with Eileen. Crazy. Mm-hmm. Clearly, this guy's been practicing with Eileen for years, and he was good enough that he beat Pat once. Yeah. And then throughout that tournament, the only person who beat me was that crazy good Eileen guy and Pat. So it's like yo, I think I could actually just pick Virtua Fighter back up. So once Revo comes out, I might be go to Evo next year. Who knows? But we'll see.
Yeah, well, they'll probably have Virtual Fighter 6 out maybe by then as well.
Yeah, Virtua Fighter 6, but if not, Virtua Fighter 5, I feel like we'll definitely have a presence, you know. So
it might
why not?
It might be at a side tournament because they do hold side tournaments.
I think it is a side tournament, which I'll do. You know, I'll totally do. You know, I'm not trying to become Sonic Fox or anything. You know, I'm a 43-year-old man. I can't compete with these kids anymore. I can't train again. I don't want to practice Street Fighter 6. You know, but boy, practicing Virtua Fighter, like it really brings something out of me. You know, it's a 3-button format that makes it so much simpler too. You know. It just makes everything so much easier to read, even though Virtua Fighter is ultimately a much harder game to play than Street Fighter, you know?
Yeah, totally.
But, yeah, I don't know. But good question. I've been thinking about it, and Virtua Fighter is the game of my choice now, for sure.
Yeah. Out of these top ones on the list, I'd probably do... I mean, I can't say Fatal Fury is not out yet, but that interests me. Grand Blue.
Oh yeah, totally. Fatal Fury is also would be the other one that would interest me because I was a huge Mark of the Wolves mark basically. So
then
if City of the Wolves is any good, then yeah, sign me up.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd probably try Grand Blue or probably Street Fighter though, just because they got Terry in there now and all that kind of stuff, and they have adding Mai soon. Yeah.
Yeah. Jeff Bezos came. Mark Zuckerberg came.
Yeah.
You know, all the bankers came. Everybody's coming.
Dude, Colin has been playing that clip just like out of nowhere. I'm just making dinner and he'll just play it on his phone. Like, and it gets me every time. But like, we'll just be sitting like dead silent in the living room. He'll just play it on his phone. It kills me.
That's really funny.
Unfortunately, Colin and I have the exact same taste in degenerate of entertainment. And I have also been playing that clip nonstop. I'm going to be visiting Micah and Colin later this summer, and Micah's going to be surrounded by just predator catcher videos and stupid Trump quote videos the whole time.
Oh my god, dude! Last night he's like the predator catcher guy, you know, the one who likes fried pickles. Like the lore of all these dudes is just like compounding at this point. I'm like, yeah, I know that with the guy who likes fried pickles, like what now? And he's like, he incorporated the fried pickles into the catch. Like, you know, but God. I support his interests.
Okay, last just little news item from here. Little Gator game. I don't know if you guys ever played this, but it's a little platform game. There was a demo out years ago and I played it. It was a cute little game. But it's getting DLC coming out now. And I know people that have played through the actual full game and really liked it. It kind of reminded me of like Wind Waker a little bit, where you're a little gator guy. It was cute. It was a cool little game. But they're getting a DLC coming for the thing now. And this is via IGN, this write-up. Little Gator is back. Watch the Little Gator game in the dark announcement trailer for this upcoming expansion where a new adventure awaits. Join Little Gator underground and embark on a new adventure in this expansion, which brings new toys, new friends to meet, and new stories to be made. Little Gator game, the dark will be available on every platform pretty much. So, Micah, are you aware of this game? It sounds like you kind of familiar with it.
Oh, no, just from the trailer, I immediately thought Wind Waker. So when you said that, I was like, hell yeah, dog. Because I'm watching this. I'm like, it's got little Wind Waker dudes in it, like Wind Waker style. No, I never played this. I have to be completely honest, though. This is just going to be weird. I don't like how dark it is. I'm like, so the whole thing's dark, huh? Like, because it just is like every, like, no, like this actual... Like this actual trailer and everything is literally like dark spaces, and I'm like, I need bright color.
But he was like outside in the sun earlier in the beginning. Like in the beginning of the game, you're like on an island. Yeah, you skipped too far. He's like underground.
Is the rest of it in? Then he's in the dark like the whole time.
This is the DLC. This is the DLC.
No, but that's what I'm saying. This like trailer. I was like Depression City over here. All right, I got that sad, shit.
But look at him. He's wearing the sun or I die. It's delightful.
He's very cute. The original version, if it's like nice and sunny, that'd get 5 big booms. But this, where I'm in the darkness, I bought one of those therapy lights at one point that like blasts you in the face with light because I'm like, it's dark at 4:30 and I want to die. Like that's like I can't. I'm playing a whole game in the dark. No thanks.
Okay, fair enough. I think it looks adorable. I would like to play this sometime. I don't know when I'll get to it, but I did like the demo I played of it a while ago. It was just a nice, cozy little game. Gene, any interest in this game at all?
Nope. Don't know what
All
it
right, then.
is. Yep.
Little game. No problem. All right, time to end the show with some questions from the audience. This first one is from Steven Campos. Hey, Punching Uppers. Recently, I started to take control of my health by playing games like Pokemon Sleep on my phone, which helps improve my sleep. I then play fitness boxing on my Switch, which helps me stay in shape and lose weight. And I've been playing Duolingo, which sort of counts like exercising my brain by learning a new language. The reason why I bring all this up is because I remember way back in 2014, Nintendo started a quality of life initiative with the introduction of the vitality sensor. 10 years later, we never saw anything from this initiative. Now that I'm playing games that are arguably improving the quality of my life, I kind of wish we saw Nintendo see through their quality of life initiative. Do you guys feel the same way after reading my post, or are you guys like, thank God Nintendo didn't commit to the quality of life initiative and abandoned the vitality sensor thing? I hope Nintendo revives the Wii Fit series. Sad face.
I'm with you, man. I wasn't one of those people who was against it. All that stuff like Brain Age and stuff like that back in the day. I was like, this is great. I think this is fantastic. This is a great way to expand the market for games, and Nintendo did. Nintendo did.
They did.
Look at all the Gen Z kids nowadays who grew up on Nintendo. That's a Nintendo difference, and Nintendo is again they are the most determined out of all three of the platform holders to become, and they are the multi-generational platform. Ring Fit was you couldn't even buy Ring Fit during the pandemic.
Right, that's true.
So yeah, I totally would not be mad at all if Nintendo decided to do that. And you know what, Alarmo, we make fun of Alarmo, but Alarmo it feels like it's kind of in that spirit too, right there. Yeah, right there.
Yeah, it is some weird kind of thing.
Yeah. The weird thing is that the Switch 2 announcement today was the thing that really, really wanted me to get the Alarmo, because like I'm in the Nintendo mood now.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, I should get an Alarmo too, man. Hell yeah. I'm single. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, get influenced, dude. Yeah. Micah, what do you think?
Yeah, this is an interesting write-in because it does feel just very different. We did get like Nintendo Switch Sports, for example, but like I remember the Wii U balance board and like just all those weird things they came out with. But it's clearly just a matter of what sells well and what doesn't. And you kind of have competing factors of, we know, for example, in the Japanese market, people traditionally may have smaller homes, a lot of apartments, and you're not going to have space for the Wii balance board and all these peripherals, right? And then you look at America, and a lot of us just aren't very concerned about health. So it's just one of those things of, I think it just wasn't super popular. As Gene said, though, Ring Fit was super popular during the pandemic, and it was just flying off the shelves. It was something to do at home. It was something to kind of bring into your space and liven things up. But honestly, do most people want fitness in gaming? It's like, I don't know. When I ride my bike, my stationary bike, I don't need it to be a game. It could be, right, I guess, but I'm happy with just having fitness be fitness and gaming be gaming. And I don't really need Nintendo to do this for me. Like I don't want to exercise by punching at my TV with the fake trainer. This is not for me. I just want to do my little stupid little bike ride and leave.
Yeah, I mean, to be clear, it wouldn't be for me either,
And I think that's the problem, right? We're like, yeah, this is pretty cool, but I don't want it.
But then I didn't want Ring Fit either, and everyone else did, So,
yeah,
right.
It's not for us, but the stuff can be popular, So we'll see. Oh, another game, other games I think won't work on the Switch. I think with that disclaimer, the Labo games, yeah.
Right. Yeah, that was a good call.
Yeah, that's
definitely. Right, I completely forgot. I mean, exactly, that feels so long ago. Labo is really cool, but that feels so long ago.
It's ages ago.
Yeah, it doesn't even. When you tell me, think of things that like, yeah, what wouldn't work on Switch 2? I didn't even consider Labo. I haven't thought about. I haven't heard that name in years.
But like, if there's other games that require like motion control and stuff like that, I think those are the games that won't work. Which, fine by me. Ring Fit probably won't work either. But fine by me. Honestly, I think a lot of people won't be crying too hard. Especially if you already have the original game on the Switch. It's not like we need the power of the Switch 2 or PS5 Pro to play Ring Fit Adventure. It's just fine on the Switch. So, or 1-2 Switch, for example.
Or Cooking Mama Cookstar, the worst Cooking Mama game they ever made. The motion controls terrible. You don't need them. You don't want them.
Right. Yeah, I could see them making another fitness game, whatever it be. It might just be like a new IP or something like that. But
yeah, I mean, look, Japanese people love exercising. It's a huge thing, like in corporations there, where you have like a
stretches and exercise session,
yeah.
So
that's where ARMS was cool, because all you needed was the Joy-Cons. When we're talking about saving space and having something that's like an exercise game, I mean, ARMS, you're punching, you're moving, like that game would tire you out. All right, you're playing online, you get pretty tired if you were actually using the motion controls for it.
Yeah,
maybe that's the balance.
Yeah, I actually didn't use the motion controls for ARMS, and I got pretty good at it that way too.
It was so good, but like maybe that's the balance. Is instead of weird peripherals, it's like, okay, well, with what we have, what can we do? Because
Skyward Sword motion controls probably won't work on a Switch 2, but you can still use it with the camera, the non-motion control, which I did too, and I loved Skyward Sword as a result because of that. So
I hope it works. I'm gonna be pissed if Skyward Sword doesn't work. You sons of bitches! Stop making me
60 frames per second on the Switch.
So, I know. Stop making me keep old
Brad.
systems. Oh, I will if they do put it on Switch 2. I will. I absolutely will.
If there's mouse support, that'd be amazing.
Mouse support, yeah. That would be funny. All right, this is from James Solar. Hey, Pikmin. Last year, A.G. Newman told Gene Park of the Washington Post that game mechanics have always come before story for Zelda. This is obvious with games like Skyward Sword, Triforce Heroes, and Link's crossbow training. What do you think was the inspiring mechanic for some of the other Zelda games? And what type of mechanic would you like to see in future Zeldas? Best, James S. I don't know. It's hard to say. With Ocarina of Time, it was probably just getting it in 3D first. But I feel like the music playing in Ocarina of Time was definitely something they discovered earlier. And we're like, we got to make this a big part of the game. Like playing music on your controller with the controller. I feel like that was something they totally did.
That was the gimmick of that game, yeah.
Yeah.
But Majora's Mask is obviously the different the mask and the power and the groundhog. Majora's Mask had so many goddamn ideas. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But yeah, the masks and the powers that come with it, and as well as the Groundhog Day format. But I don't know. I think it's why Twilight Princess kind of has a hard time standing out, because there's nothing really mechanically about that besides the wolf mechanic, right? Obviously, but the wolf mechanic was very, very limited, and it was mostly for like exploration and just like certain combat situations. So I like that's why Twilight Princess, I think, hasn't aged well as like the all-time classic or whatever. Even though I love Twilight Princess, I think it has some of the best dungeons, period, in the entire series. But yeah, that's something to think about. But for sure.
In terms of mechanics for a future Zelda game,
I don't know. A Link Between Worlds, obviously, with the paper going in and out of the walls.
2D thing.
Amazing mechanic, right?
The Minish Cap, they clearly loved those I Spy books, and they were like, we want you to look at little tiny things. And so, because I guarantee they had one of those at the office, where like, look at this. We got to make a game all about tiny stuff.
No,
and then Bing Bang Boom.
Someone watched Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and was like, that's it.
Oh, classic movie. Who doesn't love that?
Yeah, that was a classic movie. In terms of like future mechanics, I don't really know. I just want them to have like proper big scale dungeons again, I guess. That's the main thing I'm worried about right now, Gene. But what about you? Is there anything you would like for future Zelda games?
It's really hard to tell what you want out of a Zelda. I'm sure there's a lot of people that have dreamed of mechanics, but that's not something I really think about. I just take it as it comes. I'm not a game developer, and a lot of people have asked me like, "Oh, Gene, we should get a game development, game design." I'm not one of those journalists who think that they could just work at a game company and just make games. I enjoy consuming. I'm a consumer, you know. So I'll just wait until whatever they come out with the next idea and whether it's good or not. So I agree with you, Brad. Like basic game design, cool sword play, good, very good dungeon design, good overworld, just all that stuff. It's fine. You know, again, like if they just remade if they just made a much better version of Twilight Princess, I'm not going to complain that it doesn't have you know, something unique or anything like that. But you know, that's what Zelda is. You know, Breath of the Wild is the physics of the open world as well as the weapon mechanic, the weapon breaking mechanic. You know.
All right. This is from Zach Wishnoff. Punchers, what are the chances that we see a new Star Fox game during the Switch 2 generation? I think we deserve at least one last attempt at the IP. Thanks, Zach. Star Fox. What do you think, Gene?
Give it to the Team Angels, the Ace Combat team. That's it. That's all you need to do. Just make a good goddamn flight shooting arcade simulator. You know.
Yep.
With a lot of like chatter and storytelling. That's all Star Fox needs to be. You know, like we just had the conversation about ideas. You know, Nintendo sometimes does overthink ideas. They didn't overthink with the Switch 2, which is nice. So that might be encouraging. Maybe they're like, hey, you know what? Maybe we should just make a Star Fox game where the flying is really good and the shooting is really good and the story is really good. And that's all it needs to be. Literally, that's all it needs to be. It doesn't need mouse control or anything like that. Just make a good airplane game, please.
They're like, no.
They're like, no. It needs some crazy idea. No.
You gotta use the gamepad.
Would you like another 1-2 switch?
No.
No. They're like, you gotta shove this Joy-Con up your ass.
I feel like game designers overthink, like, oh my god, what if it's too overpowered or whatever like that? You know, like that's why we haven't had a good Superman game, because you're like, oh my god, how do we make Superman fun? You make it by letting us fly around and punch things. That's all it needs to be. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the game.
That's it. Fly around and punch. I like it. Okay. Well, Star Fox, I hope Star Fox gets another chance. Like we were saying.
Totally. Yeah, there's no other Nintendo IP I want more besides the racist Punch Out. No.
I want the racist wave race back. That'd be good.
Racist wave racist. Yeah.
Wave racist.
Yes. Racist 64. Hell yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
All right. Let's see here. This is from Nevin.
We're getting super racist as a country and as a world now. So maybe Nintendo's like, yeah, maybe it is time for wave racist. Maybe the people are ready for it.
Yeah, maybe.
They've had it. They've had it in their folder the whole time.
We're in the 20s, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, it's the roaring 20s again, baby. Yeah. The mid 20s. Oh my god, I can't believe it's mid 20s. It's 21st century. That's crazy.
All right. This is from Nevitz. Hello, punching bricksters. I've been locking all the multiple endings in Nier Automata, or Automata, however you want to say it. It is fun to do and not annoying like most games. What is a game with multiple endings that you enjoyed enough to play multiple times? Or do you just watch some of the extra endings online? Thanks, and keep searching for those power-ups.
Chrono Trigger, obviously, is the number one.
Sure.
I don't think any other game has done endings better than Chrono Trigger. Period. You know, Nier Automata or whatever is probably tied or close to it. You know, but it's Chrono Trigger easily. That's an easy answer though. I don't know. I'm trying to think of other game endings.
Yeah, maybe like endings where like Telltale game endings or something like that, where you can get like rapidly different outcomes. I'm trying to think of stuff like that. I don't know.
Here's another game that I played over the break that I haven't talked about. RGG Studios cult classic Binary Domain.
Yeah.
Did you play that, Brad?
No, I remember Mike Huber telling me about it when it came out.
Did you like it?
This game's sick. Yeah.
Yeah, this game is sick though, you know?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It's a Gears of War game where that has reactive dialogue choices.
Yeah.
Like in the game, like you can give your party orders, and depending on how you respond to them or how they respond to you, like they'll go up or down in their social links, you know? And like Big Bo will say, hey, the Chinese spy that we have on our team has a nice ass, doesn't he, Dan? and then you as Dan has to either confirm or deny that the Chinese girl has a nice ass, and that will affect the ending of the game.
That's
That
awesome.
will affect the ending of the game. It will affect how Big Bo feels about you and what role he actually plays in the ending. It's a crazy, crazy game, and it's made by RGG Studio. It runs great on Steam. Buy it on PC. It's the best Gears of War game that isn't Gears of War. It's incredible. And it's, instead of blood and like monsters, you're fighting Terminators. It's a Terminator game. So when you shoot off their arms or their legs or whatever, like they'll start crawling like down, or they shoot one leg and then they might be on one leg or whatever. They're just it's crazy. It's a crazy advanced game for its time.
Micah, any games you can think of with multiple endings you enjoyed playing through and getting them?
Yeah, in terms of long games, really, The Witcher 3 is one of the only games I have like replayed because I loved it so much. I really just struggle to replay games that are longer than 15 hours, right? But any of my visual novels, I am, of course, going to try and play to get all the endings whenever. Those are usually like between 8 to 10 hours. And then let's say like, okay, well, maybe there's 5 or 6 endings. Then it's a 60-hour game, okay? So that works out. But for longer games, nah, I just don't have it in me. But if I'm playing a visual novel style game, I'm definitely gonna go for all the endings.
Yeah, totally. I'm trying to think for me off the top of my head. I don't know. Nier is a good one. Nier Automata is really good. Not Replicant so much. I did not enjoy doing. I didn't even get all the endings in it because I didn't enjoy doing that. So
Replicant can be a little rough.
Yeah.
Nier one can be a little rough. That's what Nier Automata did better in just differentiating the different playthroughs. Because Nier one, you play through a lot of the same thing for sure.
Yeah,
it's a little rough.
Okie dokie. Final write-in from Nick Gagas. Hope this day finds you all well, my vertical fisters. A few episodes ago, the one and only goddess of the grill, Mama Micah, scoffed at the idea of buying a Switch OLED so late in the game, with Switch 2 virtually prairie dogging out of Miyamoto's rectum. Well, I bought one a short couple of weeks ago, and I have no regrets. Gave the standard one to my daughter. Games like Link's Awakening and Octopath Traveler are a sight to behold on that screen. Dare I say, somehow more pleasing to my eye than my Steam Deck OLED. Could anyone besides Micah back me up here and assist me in justifying my purchase? Ha! Colin even offered to buy her an OLED, but instead she opted for a Switch Lite. This is insanity, all caps, as well as ignoring Xenoblade Chronicles music so she could listen to Game Grumps. She almost deserved the penis-colored one. Be well, you motley crew, and remember always, a winner is you. Damn, Micah. How do you feel about him saying you almost deserve the penis-colored one?
I mean, that's valid. That's valid. I'll say the OLED isn't worth it for me because I can't see.
She can't see. Yeah.
I can't see shit, dog. So, like for me, the OLED's a waste of money. And it strictly was the dock. I'm like, no, I don't need a second docking station. The next one's coming out and I'm going to have 3 of these fucking things in my house. I don't want to try and sell it on Marketplace. I'm not getting shot over this. I'm not doing that. So I just was like, I don't want more stuff I don't need. So the light was the perfect solution. But I'm glad that you upgraded. I'm glad that you're enjoying your new console.
Yeah, nice.
And it's what I said, pass the other one on to the child. Yeah,
Perfect. Yeah, Micah sees in 480p, so give her a break. She's doing her best, okay?
Oh, dude, yeah, I'm playing Kingdom Come Deliverance and Colin's like, oh my God, the frame rate looks like it's below 30 frames. I'm like, I don't even know what I was like,
I don't know what that means.
It's giving me a headache, but I can't tell you what's wrong with it. I just know my head hurts. Me.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, guys, that's it. Another episode in the books. Micah, Gene, thank you guys for joining me. Appreciate it. Some exciting news this week, so it was fun. Listeners, viewers, thank you guys for hanging out with us. We greatly appreciate it. Before we go, though, anything you guys want to say, or should we just get out of here?
I'll say one thing. I've noticed some of the listeners noticed that my energy has been fairly low in the last few episodes, and I acknowledge that. Obviously, I have a terrible poker face, If it looks like I'm going through a lot, then it probably means because I'm going through a lot. And the past few weeks, I have my quarterly scans for cancer coming up, and good news, everybody, I'm still cancer free completely.
Nice. Hell yeah.
So that's so awesome. I even saw just my doctor today, or was it today? Oh my God, it was yesterday. So my doctor yesterday, and he was like, "Yeah, congratulations, buddy. Like you're still good." I do have to do a colonoscopy again in the summer. Oof,
Oh yeah.
rough. Hate doing that. But like I just been anxious, man. That's just I hope you guys understand that every 3 months I'm gonna have some pretty bad anxiety once it comes to the test on whether I have a ticking time bomb in my body. So thank you everyone who have been patient with me, and I appreciate that. And thanks for listening. That's all.
Yeah. Cool. Anything, Mike, or are we good?
I was just going to say, I always hated Flubber. I've been thinking about that movie a lot lately, and I
Sure.
always hated it. And my grandma would put it on. It was one of the few VHS tapes she owned, and I couldn't stand it.
Blubber, dude. All right. Shout out Robin Williams. Okay, everybody.
Five
thank
big
you.
booms.
Yeah, 5 big booms.
Robin Williams.
5 big booms for Robin Williams. Absolutely.
Hey, 5 big booms for the Switch 1.
Yeah. She's
Right?
finally
Like
going
that.
to kick the bucket.
Do 5 big booms. I dare you. Do them.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, that did feel good. Hell yeah, Switch.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Hell
We're
yeah,
never
Switch
doing
and
that.
David Lynch for some reason.
Yeah. Shout out David Lynch.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you guys. Goodbye.
Adios, everyone.
Punching Up, a Nintendo podcast, is a product of Last Stand Media and Collins Last Stand LLC and is proudly recorded in the USA. The show is written and hosted by me, Bradley Ellis. My co-hosts are Gene Park and Micah Moriarty. The show is edited and produced by Dustin Furman. All of Last Stand's theme music is by Ramon Narvaez. Punching Up, along with the rest of Last Stand's media shows, are fan-funded on Patreon at patreon.com/laststandmedia. The following names are at the producer level on Patreon, our highest tier, and we're grateful for your kind contributions and generosity to our independent endeavor. Thank you.